Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Championship Sunday here in the SSA Winter Open. Rlcs action always comes to the biggest day of the week, and it's my absolute honor to get to cast, to bring you this panel, to host for the beginning of the day, the final three matches of this. And starting off the day with me is, of course, Pyro J and Triple M. Looking at their faces, they're just as excited to be here as I am. And of course, this whole thing brought to you by ACGL. Big shout out to them managing to put on what I'm sure you guys will agree has been a phenomenal broadcast. Getting through every issue as soon as possible, making sure to bring you the action every step of the way. Love these guys, love what they're doing, and loving what we're getting to see, gents. You know, a big weekend so far, starting with a completely new format to bring us to this weekend. Instead of going through any long Swiss stages, we go to a group stage, throw things wide open there. 3 of the 4 groups, pretty much what we expected. Group D, the group of death, shaking things up as we headed yesterday to the playoff brackets. And that playoff brackets did some very interesting things. You know, when that first round came up, we saw pretty much most of the way through there, things looking one-sided. Apex Astronics getting us a nice little game 5. And then yesterday, same sort of story. Limitless taking that without dropping a game at all in this entire weekend. Fusion losing out to a very strong-looking ATK side. Orlando Pirates taking a concise win there over Apex. And then the big one, the one that went back and forth. And Triple M, you were there to get to see that 7-match clash between Nixa and White Rabbit Gaming, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, what a game it was. I mean, even Snowy was surprised by the outcome of that game, and not in a disrespectful way to WRG, but more in just a matter-of-fact way, like, okay, they are here to play some Rocket League. And, you know, I foolishly predicted Nixa to win that one in very swift fashion, but WRG were not having any of that. So they're a team that are on the come-up. They obviously had a great stretch in the last season, and they look like they've only gone up and onwards since then. Should be interesting to see how they fare today against their semi-finalist opponents, Orlando Pirates.
Yeah, it's also interesting, Altruism, because Nixa had 3 consistent top 4 appearances. Like, at this point, you almost just expect them to be in the semifinals. Yet, you cannot doubt what White Rabbit Gaming has been doing. Yes, they had a rough group stage, Group D. It was a group of death. All right, you just got to accept it. A little bit of craziness to start out this split. But remember what they did in the last regional. They got to top 2. They've got the tools to get all the way and do it again today. So, yeah, very feisty. Game 7, best of 7 there to get White Rabbit Gaming to our top 4.
White Rabbit Gaming, of course, having quite a big following these days. I know that we've always had lots of fans in the chat, especially for their newcomer Kino into this SSA scene, coming all the way from the US officially to join Friction and WeCasper. Today is going to be a test for them if we take a look back at that bracket. Now, these action that we've got here today, on the top of the bracket, Limitless versus ATK, and then our first game that we're going to be starting with, Orlando Pirates versus White Rabbit Gaming. Pyro, I want to stay with you. You're quite a fan of White Rabbit after their performance yesterday. And I think this is quite a special match for these two teams.
Oh, it's special. There's quite a history between these two teams. It was ridiculous because somehow these two teams never played each other in the first 2 regionals of this season. But then the Swiss stage comes in regional number 3. White Rabbit upset Orlando Pirates. People didn't see that coming. They meet again in the semifinals. This exact position last regional. White Rabbit win again. And it was convincing as well. It was like a 4-1 win in a best of 7. So right now, between these two teams, despite Orlando Pirates having more points, I believe, in the rankings, White Rabbit Gaming have Orlando Pirates beat. This is really, Altruism, a revenge match for Orlando Pirates to not only get the championship match, but to finally defeat White Rabbit.
Yeah, 100%. Like the ability to really set down that rivalry, because that's what we're trying to get at this stage, right? In terms of the entire RLCS here in SSA, big thing, the big question is who's going to be that second spot for our wildcard position. We've already got Limitless looking so powerful right now, 30 points ahead of their nearest rivals. They've pretty much got themselves in and been looking very difficult to beat. And ATK going to have to show off something big later to do that. That's second place right now, currently held by Orlando Pirates with 48 points. White Rabbit Gaming, 42 points. The change up that this could be, I don't think that White Rabbit would be able to go completely past Orlando Pirates there, but to narrow that gap to within a couple of points if they manage to take them down today. And then, of course, test themselves against Limitless at the end. That sets up for a little bit of an interesting story. And Triple M, do you think White Rabbit has the ability to go through and actually take out arguably South Africa's most favorite organization, if not currently their best?
I think the potential is there. I'm not sure they're quite there today and right here, right now, but the potential is there. We've seen this WRG team, as you guys have pointed out, put in good performances against the likes of Orlando Pirates. And whilst Limitless are the measuring stick of greatness in SSA, I would say Orlando Pirates is a pretty good litmus test as well, right? If not Limitless, then Orlando Pirates is a good team to beat, to prove that you are really doing some special things in this region. So they've already got past the first hurdle. If they can get past Pirates again today, then yeah, there's a potential, upset there. I won't go as far as to say they will win. I think they could take a game off Limitless, maybe a couple, and make it a really competitive series. I think they're at that stage right now.
Okay, so we're going to head to a quick team comparison because this is where it really starts to get interesting. Marcus, you did say there that the litmus test, that is Pirates XD, that measuring stick, they used to be known as almost exactly on level with this Limitless side here, Pirates XD, and they seem to be quite still a little bit above the competition and most of the teams they come up against. Even here, a little bit ahead on goals, just ahead on shots, but these are still significant numbers, 0.6, 0.7 for every one of these. You enjoy your soccer. How does this sort of thing, especially that win rate, that 70% win rate, that's got to mean something at the end of the day, right? These numbers.
It definitely does. I mean, we were talking off camera about Orlando Pirates in their series against Apex on their route to this final. And it's kind of crazy. Orlando Pirates won 4-1 and we were still finding holes in their gameplay just because they're that good, right? They're that amazing that even when they're sweeping teams, we're still like, yeah, but they don't look like the Orlando Pirates that they can be because they've set those heights so high. So looking at that win rate of 70%, pretty decent win rate. The shot count almost reaching 10, an average of 10 per game, just under 10 per game. They're just short of that. It's pretty amazing. And then you got the goals pretty close, the assists pretty close as well. But for me, I think when you apply the context of just how good Pirates are, the fact that Eli, Cams, and Happy Meal are all capable of putting in series-defining performances, it's just crazy. Whereas on WRG's side, you don't really have that same level of clutch factor, right? It's generally speaking, when Kino plays exceptionally well, WRG do exceptionally well. But when he's feeling under the weather, generally speaking, they struggle. You don't have that with Pirates. With Pirates, you at least have 3 players who are all capable on their own day of winning you a game, even when you're not playing well. And that's what sets them apart, even on their worst days, from 99% of the region.
Very interesting to see. If you guys want to get involved with this conversation, of course, you can do so in the Twitch chat. Hashtag OP means you are backing the Orlando Pirates to be able to take this. Hashtag WRG means you are going against it. I'm very interested to see what the popular opinion is right now. Pyro, we see Marcus saying that, back and forth between the two of them. The big points that he made there. 3 great players on the side of Orlando Pirates, potentially one standout star that we get to see from WRG. I'm interested to see if you think that. And the other point is, Orlando Pirates not necessarily looking at their peak. We did see a couple of double commits yesterday. We saw a couple of very weirdly missed shots. Is that just Orlando Pirates relaxing because they thought that there was not really that much challenge? Do you think they're going to have to fix those mistakes today, or that they can fix those?
No, so first of all, I do not think that's Orlando Pirates relaxing. I think Apex Gaming have a lot of respect right now. Lackstar and Original being a duo for a long time, and then with the addition of Shadow, this kind of makes Apex Gaming like a really dangerous team, this split. So I'm excited to see more of them. But for Orlando Pirates, when we talk about what Triple M mentioned, like criticizing this team when they almost sweep a different team still, it's because the benchmark is Limitless. It's because the benchmark is a team who doesn't make a lot of mistakes. So in order to get to where Orlando Pirates want to be, they have to reduce and almost to zero those mistakes. When you mentioned the double commits, that's one factor. Another thing I mentioned, Altruism, was their midfield game. They gave up a lot of open shots. I want to say it was Original who had like 2 half-court shots that just bam, right in the net one game. There's got to be someone back there. There's actually at least got to have some cohesive offensive rotation. Happy Meal has played kind of the half-court defender a lot of the times, but anyone can do that in order to like keep that goal secured. So yeah, there's a few different things for sure that we're looking for from Orlando Pirates, not only if they want to defeat White Rabbit here today, but have a chance at Limitless if they move on.
Well, you guys seem to think it's just as close as we do right now. The chat result is in. For now, it's sitting at 48% Orlando Pirates. A very small margin, but a margin nonetheless, saying WRG going to be taking it with 52% there. It's going to be time now, I think, guys, to try and get some sort of predictions from you. Who do you think is going to win and why? I want to get like a pretty crisp, pretty clear, I think this team's got it, and here's why. The defining factor for each of them. Who do I feel like picking on first? Who's feeling vulnerable right now? Pyro, you look way too confident there, my friend. Who do you think it's gonna be?
Oh yeah, well, I'm glad I'm faking it while Altruism. That's good to hear, because I'm very secure in my prediction here. No, but that's a good thing, right? We want it to be this top 4 situation where we still don't know. It's so different from last season when it was just Orlando Pirates and Bravado Gaming. But my prediction is going to go with Orlando Pirates. I know they're 0-2 historically, against White Rabbit Gaming, but I think because of that, they are very, very focused and prepared for this exact match. If that's the way they're getting knocked out in playoffs before they fight Limitless, that's the one thing they need to fix. So I'm expecting the VOD review to be heavy against this team. I'm expecting Orlando Pirates in general to be very prepared for this match, and they look a little better in terms of their preparedness for this game compared to White Rabbit Gaming, who lost to some other teams in Group D earlier today. So that's my prediction. Orlando Pirates.
Orlando Pirates. Okay, I see the chat result actually swinging back and forth at this stage. Went down to 46% for WRG, now back up to 48% WRG, 52 for Pirates. That's back and forth, really. Just the smallest of margins for each. Marcus, are you going to go the same way as Pyro, or do you think that WRG has this?
I think WRG do have this, so I'm going to go with WRG.
Okay.
Reason being, not just because of history, but just because watching the two teams over the last couple of days, the way they took down Nixer, the way they didn't let their mentals drop every time Nixer kind of went ahead, they were able to bounce back. That, to me, is evidence of a team that is in a fighting spirit and in the right mindset for the business end of the competition. Orlando Pirates, yes, they did sweep a very good Apex team, but as we've mentioned many times and pontificated many times about on this broadcast, they're not at the level that they can be at, and I think that might cost them against a team like WRG. So I'm going to go with WRG. It's going to be a close series, though.
Man, the two of you splitting the panel, the chat splitting the votes, and I have not been wrong yet this weekend. Unfortunately, we're out of time. We're going to have to send it off to our casters right now. No chance I'm getting involved in this discussion. It is way too close to call, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to let the match decide it out. It is our first game of the 3. Yeah, Orlando Pirates XD taking on White Rabbit Gaming. Take it away, gents.
Well, this is a semi-final that really, I think is the better of the two. It will be the closer of the two. And I'm glad it's the way we're kicking off Championship Sunday. I mean, you know, we talked about this WRG roster at length, the fact that they're no strangers to this Orlando Pirates side. And, well, Pirates seem to think Pirates have got this in the bag. What do you think is going to be the standout reason for that going into the series as we await the lobby here?
Yeah, gotta pump the brakes on in the bag. I'm with you, Triple M. This is gonna be a close one for sure, but I'm glad we're facing different sides of the coin here in our predictions. At least we predicted. Altruism, I'm not done with you with no prediction there, my man. But yeah, Orlando Pirates, listen, again, historically not doing well against White Rabbit Gaming, but they have the tools. They just do. Happy Meal and Camps, they've experienced regional champions 3 times last season under Bravado Gaming.
And they've been to
Yeah,
Worlds once.
and had that Worlds experience as well. Exactly right, Triple M. And Eliakim, there's a lot of hype around this player for good reason. You see a cross-court pass high up in the air, and Eliakim's coming off the backboard to slam it down top corner, man. Like, he's got what it takes. He just does. And I'm not saying White Rabbit don't, but I've just seen it more from Orlando Pirates Gaming. They have that history, and that's enough to convince me, Triple M.
I mean, those are good points, well made, and I don't think it's very easy to argue against those points. I mean, you know, the thing about today, it isn't just about getting to the grand finals against Limitless and potentially causing an upset. It's beyond that. It's about the long-term race. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and it's a marathon of epic proportions towards that epic wild card spot, that highly sought after wild card spot. Obviously, Limitless have pretty much already claimed theirs, but that second one is still up for grabs. And
yeah,
you know,
I will say too about Limitless, like there's something in the air today, Triple M, because we were talking about this in the green room, right? With APAC, James Cheese, now Elevate, just had their first loss in the semifinals, I believe against the Detonators. So, you know, we're talking about, and in fairness, because they've made the regional win every time, Limitless being a shoo-in, I don't know. Could be something in the air today. Could be an exciting day. You never know, Triple M, and that's the beauty of this game.
That is the beauty of this game that we've all come to know and love indeed. And, you know, upsets create for great storylines. They create for great entertainment. But for now, we're going into our first semi-final. It's WRG versus Orlando Pirates. A picture of excellence on the one side, a picture of experience on the one side. And on the other hand, it's a picture of potential, a picture of excitement, a picture of possibilities. WRG, can they pull it off again? 3, 2, 1, and away we go for game number 1 of our first semi-final on Championship Sunday. And it's Eli barreling forward to get the boost. And, well, the opening seconds here should be very nervy for WRG and Orlando Pirates, but how they navigate the tension will tell us a lot about who is in tip-top form today.
Yeah, you know what? Let's discuss navigating tension. We saw White Rabbit Gaming go to Game 7 and win against Nixa, a team that's made top 4 every single time. So they've denied Nixa of that. I actually see White Rabbit Gaming being a little more calm under the tension today because they've proven that they can go the distance. And, you know, from what we've talked about today so far, it could go the distance after crossbar cams as the follow-up. We talked about WRG being better under tension, but looks like Pirates have the opening goal.
So coordinated off the ball, aren't they, Pirates? The rotations, Cam taking a bit of a bite and then followed up by his teammate there. Actually, it was Eli who took the initial shot, and then Cam came across to finish the open net. And just the awareness from them, the way they rotate and how swiftly and fluid they are. It's Friction now with a quick response, though, at the other end. And as I'm complimenting Orlando Pirates on their fluidity, it's WRG who respond with great potency, and Friction gets them back in the game.
And you know what? One of the mentions about how we're looking at Pirates and how they kind of stay sturdy was that midfield presence. And right there, they're giving up a goal in the midfield again, partly due to Cams taking that straight down the midline and kind of giving up the ball. But still, the midfield, very much a pointed topic for today's matchup for Orlando Pirates. Though Cams, wow, still able to follow that ball through all the hassle. Eliakim gonna have to turn after that 50-50. Happy Meal looking at this full container of boost, thinking he can push this ball up the field and eliminating Kino. Lots of ways to disrupt White Rabbit Gaming that Happy Meal's happy to do.
Absolutely, as Wee Casper receives the ball here. It's Eli now taking it forward. Orlando Pirates being very reserved here early on. They know they can't afford to overcommit against WRG. Lots of mutual respect between these two teams in the way that they're approaching the game. It's Eli controlling it pretty well off the crossbar, and some great maneuver there to get past his opponent. And now all of a sudden WRG have to be very careful here. It's Kino who does a great job on the ceiling to carry it across into opposition territory. And now Happy Meal will return the favor. It's a lot of back and forth early on. Feels like a very, very good game of tennis between these two teams. No one really looking vulnerable. And that, to me, suggests that we're going to have a very close series.
I think that's very likely. And we've seen probably a reset every 20 seconds as well. So everybody's trying to pull out as many mechanics and pieces that could form the puzzle that they're looking for, but it has been tied up for a while. You know, the other thing I noticed, I think we have, oh no, Kino is in an Octane. I thought we had 6 Fenix on the field, and I thought that was pretty rare, but you know, that difference maker right now. Lycan wants to be the difference maker down the field. Happy Meal, no piece there. Takes out Friction though. And Kino. Yeah, that very fast Octane trying to get down the sideline. Pass out. Oh, and it does go in. I thought he blocked his shot from Wee Casper, but it finds a lane in.
It's great pressure from Kino here. Carries the ball all the way to the opposition half and nearly ruins the play for his teammate. Almost, you know, you almost saved that essentially. And Wee Casper luckily had enough momentum to push it in anyways. It's 2-1 lead here for WRG early on. It's Eli with a quick response to make it 2.
Devastating for White Rabbit, but come on. When you see Eliakim get that kind of space up on the ball, you know he's hitting that with a massive amount of power, and he just rips that right in. So, Pirates not giving up the lead so easily as they bring this right back to a tied scoreline. Boy, have these teams been comfortable in this situation. There's a lot of respect given, Triple M, between these teams. I think that's the one thing you can tell is that, you know, we've had these long stretches between goal scoring, and I think it's because no team is trying to get too aggressive on their attempts here at the net.
Absolutely, and sometimes giving a team too much respect can be the reason for your downfall because you perhaps give them more space and time on the ball than they perhaps need. But in this case, it's a case of both teams, as you pointed out, giving each other respect rather than the one being scared of the other. It's Wee Casper now going for an initial setup off the backboard there, forcing a touch out of Happy Meal. It's Cams now who gives chase. Friction with the interception into the path of Eli. Now Eli will look to make a play. No boost in the tank. He'll have to try another day, but it's Happy Meal now. Gets the pinch off the wall, and Cams goes for the spectacular, but it will not end up in the back of the net.
Eliakim, 50-50 goes against him here. Happy Meal forced to respond to the ball, but Cam's right under him, ready to get on that ball at any moment in time. Off of the backboard, Friction, big clear, but Happy Meal, he's so ready for it. Look at him launch from the half-court line. So prepared for whatever White Rabbit Gaming may have as a response to these passes around the corner. Eliakim trying to find another, but he's going to wean off of it a bit. I have noticed Eliakim in many situations just low on boost, use kind of all his resources at one time. He's got to be smart about that efficiency here. Coming down to 20 seconds left before he might just get overtime.
We might just get overtime indeed, and both these teams look really up for this game. The physicality's there, the rotations are there. Tactically, both teams looking absolutely spot on. It's Kino now into the path of Cams. Wee Casper does well to thwart that attack before it can even start. It's Eli now, gets it into the path. Happy Meal, it's Cams, and we're going to overtime.
Very well. Yeah, there wasn't a shot chance for either team there, so I think they're happy to move right along. Got to be careful with this kickoff because this is how we saw the latest Pirates goal. It's off of the backboard. Could be a good chance here. Friction, it goes to the side. And Eliakim controls, but Kino's not done with the possession. Off of the post. Friction, are you kidding me? How does he thread the needle?
Brilliant. Kino with the initial pass, Friction with the awareness to trust that his teammate is going to put it in the middle and just goes for it early. Makes his run very early so that when the ball crosses the line, he meets it just at the perfect apex. Oh my word. What a goal for WRG. And what a moment as they take the lead in game number 1. They had a marginally better in terms. Actually, Pirates had more shots. I was about to say WG had more shots, but Pirates had 6 with WG only having 5. So a very close game. And even without the numbers and data to back it up, I think just in terms of the eye test and the ebb and flow of that game, it's hard to differentiate which team is better at the moment, apart from the scoreline, which is WRG.
It really is. You know, the desk was split. The chat predictions were split. It kind of feels like the teams are split right now, Triple M, as to who they think is going to win as well. That was the most overtimey of overtimes. That makes absolutely no sense. that's also very low in terms of shot count. So you can tell the midfield game, as we talked about in the pre-show, is going to be very, very important as to who can dominate that space and win most of the 50-50s. Secondly, I'm not over that goal from Friction in overtime. There was no reason that ball should have went in the goal. I thought the defender had that closed up, but the friendly roll off the post, man, I'm telling you, by the thinnest of margins, Triple M, somebody's going to win this series.
Absolutely. The thinnest of margins is what it does come down to at this level. We're going to the Forbidden Temple now for game number 2, and WRG with an early 1-0 lead in the series to stamp their authority on Orlando Pirates once more. It's Happy Meal now looking for a dribble, goes for the predictable shot. It's Eli into Cams, and Friction with a good early save here. WRG almost caught with their pants down, but it's not over yet. Kino still has a lot of work to do. It's now pushing forward, and early on in this game, Orlando Pirates coming out swinging, guns blazing, taking advantage of the slow start, and Eli nearly scores there. Happy Meal now tries as well, and well, WRG are weathering the storm by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, but wow, they're looking formidable as well, right? I only see maybe one player committing to one defensive stop and everybody else trying to rotate in position. That's the only reason that they could weather those rebounds and those shots. Wow, close one there for Wee Casper, trying to slot it right under the crossbar, but it does ring out. You can tell, I think both teams are trying to rack up that shot tally much higher than what we saw in the last game.
Yeah, Pirates with an average shot tally of 9.4 per game at this level. It's pretty good. It goes in. Oh my word. It's just crept under the bar and bounced off the line. And unfortunately for Pirates, it isn't an early lead here, but Happy Meal has another bite of the cherry and a great save by Kino, patiently waiting on the backboard to deal adequately with what was a really good shot there. Now it's Eli going for the setup again, and a good touch by Wee Casper to throw him off. Suddenly the momentum is gone, but Cams produces a good piece of service anyways. No Orlando Pirates in the vicinity, and it remains 0-0.
Yeah, where are they? I mean, that's the chance right there. The infield pass, if that wasn't the thing that was drawn up, then what was? I'm not sure. I mean, we've had a barrage of shots. In the first minute and 30, Orlando Pirates have already extended their shot count from last game. So I don't know where the shot was that time, the one time they needed it, but they'll have to just rally and try again as Eliakim. 50-50 in the corner, pops up off the ceiling. Happy Meal a bit slower to it, so Cams files in, no second touch off the side while he was looking for that read. So Friction has an easy clear, and discombobulation on the side of Pirates, bumping into each other. Eliakim has a lane off the ceiling, has an option from Cams as well. Kino knocks it away.
Oh, desperate times here for WRG, but they're not over yet. Cams tries to put in another ball. It's now Eli pushing up. He's the last man back, but I think there is one back on the back post. It is Happy Meal. He gets past. Oh, Friction getting past Happy Meal there. He only needed to get past the one more. To be fair, I think his job was done. The ball was rolling across the line, but nobody up for WRG to finish that off. And again, both teams respecting each other so much. We're not seeing any overcommits, even for the easiest of chances. It's now Friction off the backboard. Gets a double touch that unfortunately throws Kino off. And it's still 0-0 now. Orlando Pirates with just under 2 minutes to go. Still 0-0 against WRG. Remember, they are behind in the series by just one. It's Kino putting the pressure on, but not getting anything here. Wow. It's Cams who's going to get one against the run of play, and WRG have almost fallen apart there unexpectedly.
This is the only shot that I could imagine Orlando Pirates scoring at this point, because guess what? Everything else hasn't worked. This is really a game of strategy versus execution. Orlando Pirates have shot and shot and shot. They cannot get past a formidable defense of White Rabbit Gaming, so a counterattack seems like the only way they can do it. Meanwhile, White Rabbit Gaming have had all kinds of chances, but just cannot execute. That final shot just does not land. And at this point, they only have under 90 seconds to do it. So White Rabbit Gaming, if you want to force another overtime, this is the time to turn it around. This is the time to make those chances matter and start to execute and start to hit those shots on target.
Absolutely. It is squeaky bum time here in the Forbidden Temple for White Rabbit Gaming with 1:05 to go. It's a great pass from Wee Casper. Tries to get on the end of his own chance. gets a bump for good measure. Kino gets a demo for good measure as well. But unfortunately, it's a wayward attempt from Casper despite the efforts of his teammates. And WRG with another good opportunity to take advantage of a vulnerable Orlando Pirates at the back. And Pirates prevail once more. It's Cams now barreling down. It's Happy Meal. Great touch there by Kino. It was a brilliant touch. Very important and could be a game-defining touch if WRG can take it the other way.
They might be able to. Happy Meal alone on the goal line. He's the only one that can stop this attack. And unfortunately for him, he just cannot stop Casper. Had that container a boost, but the wrong end of the 50-50.
Yep, and I think that's just one of those situations there that WRG really needed. Not the prettiest of goals, but it's a goal nevertheless. It evens things up and puts them back in the advantage seat. So now, advantage WRG. Orlando Pirates with 22 seconds to either send this into overtime again, or just close it out with a late dramatic finish here. It's Happy Meal now who'll give chase into the path of Casper. Gets past one, can't get past Cams though because he's being bumped. And, well, WRG, they got to be careful here. Good shot from Eli and a great save by Kino. This one is going to overtime.
Oh, boy. Okay, Cams, I thought you had it there at the last second, but it did not go in. A very even kickoff here to start things off. Hold on, Kino's got a chance. Cam's got to save that ball. Kino gets past him. They force OT in the last seconds of regulation time and come back in a storm.
You know what, mate? Kino is an absolutely brilliant player, absolutely clutch. And it's moments like that that make me give him so much praise because you need your big players in those big moments to be in the right place at the right time. He's aware of where he needs to be. If he wasn't on the end of that chance, he probably would have been going for a bump or a demo or some sort of play to disrupt the opposition. And equally, Casper and Fiction have done their part as well. And that's why this WRG roster is oh so good. The shots total from both teams a lot higher in that game as well. I think that's worth pointing out. 10 shots from Pirates and 9 from WRG. So again, WRG having less shots, but somehow producing the better chances and overall converting at a higher rate.
Yeah, you want to talk about the shot tallies. I mean, we had Pirates get 7 in the first minute and a half. It was an absolute barrage, but they couldn't keep it up. And also, Triple M, that was not even the way they were getting scoring chances. The only way that they scored was off of a blip of a moment in a counterattack. And actually, it was every goal in which that happened. Friction had that quick, Casper had that quick counter as well, just against Happy Meal. And then you had Kino basically off the kickoff of overtime. What we're learning here is that the team that can work better off their feet, right on a whim, have the best reactions is going to win out because the long-standing pressure of these very expansive possessions are not catalyzing goals, at least in game 2. So, we can see how this game continues to evolve, continues to adapt right now. But yeah, the reaction time, those moments that we talk about, Triple M, may be the most important moments after all.
Absolutely. And it really does define what you need to win at this level. It's those key opportunities, those small windows that you really get to shape the narrative in the series and take control. It's one thing to win game 1, but then you've got to go replicate it in game 2, game 3, and then subsequently game 4 and beyond if needs be. And so WRG have done a really good job of that right now. We've just received word that there's apparently a timeout going on at the moment, which is pretty interesting. I think this is a good time, and I'm assuming it's Orlando Pirates because obviously they're down who've taken this timeout. And I mean, the adjustments that they need to make, I mean, I can't even imagine what you would be saying during that.
I thought they had the winning formula at the beginning of the game in game number 2 when it was just outstanding pressure from them, but they could not score. So there's just one little piece that hasn't been solved of this puzzle against White Rabbit Gaming. Not only today, Triple M, as we hop into game number 3, Casper, down to Kino. Okay, the timeout helped somebody, Triple M, but I don't think it was the Pirates.
Yeah, I mean, one thing Pirates did well, as you pointed out so well last game, was really get off to a good start and start on the front foot. But this time, it's WRG, and it's that man again, Kino, getting the opener. And WRG are looking pretty scary at the moment. This, for Orlando Pirates, would be their third consecutive loss to WRG under these circumstances if they cannot turn this series around. Now, then it's Cams giving chase, looking for an early response. Friction does well to hold up until Weecasper comes to his aid. It's a great shot and a good save by Friction there, and he gets it out as well. So early on, WRG, they've got their early goal. They defended the early attack from Orlando Pirates. Now we wait to see what the rest of the game has to offer.
I really feel like this match is like a science experiment for the Orlando Pirates, just testing different solutions to see what works. It was a massive amount of rebounds in game 2 that did not give them the goal. Now they're trying to turn it inside before the ball even gets to the corner for those infield passes. And although those are looking more lethal, they're still not finding that final shot that can break through the defense of White Rabbit Gaming. They are appearing to be a solid foundation defensively, and I think for Orlando Pirates, there's gotta be a way to disrupt that foundation. I don't know if it's bumps or demos. I don't know if it's boost steals, but Triple M, it's gotta be something.
Yeah, for me, I think they've just got to be. Ooh, it's a good setup there. Happy Meal almost getting a touch, but to answer your question, I think it's just a case of Orlando Pirates not really being as aggressive as they need to be in those moments. They've had chances where the ball has been flashed across the goal, both in the Forbidden Temple and at the beginning of the series as well in game number 1. And unfortunately, they just were not committing men forward. They always had 2 on the halfway line. A mistake here at the back puts them in a very precarious situation. It's Kino now who is forced to play backwards. Friction does well, but I don't know if this is good enough. Happy Meal almost puts Orlando Pirates on the board if it weren't for a good save. Now, WRG taking it the other way, and it's back and forth action here. So close to call. Happy Meal again. Eli again. Cam's backpedaling, and this is not looking good. Lots of demos coming in, and Weecasper decides to take it to the heavens and is looking for anyone in the middle. But unfortunately, Friction and Kino back out on that occasion and decide to go for the smarter option rather than the aggressive one.
What's so funny about these chances where somebody takes it high off the backboard and then you're waiting for the follow-up is White Rabbit Gaming are rolling deeper in their offensive rotation, which allows them to be prepared for these clear attempts from the Orlando Pirates. And that's why their follow-ups have just looked a bit more lethal. Happy Meal, can he slot this? Absolutely, he can. Boy, the Pirates haven't got a lot of chances with an open net like that, so Happy Meal knew that if at any moment he needed to strike, it was then.
Yep, camping on the halfway line, waiting for that exact opportunity there, Happy Meal. The presence of mind to execute at this level cannot be overstated enough. Kino, oh, good touch. He got demoed as well for it, so close times. And WRG, in a matter of seconds, have conceded 2 quick goals.
Holy. All right, they're feeling fired up, though they took a step back at the beginning of this game by a fiery approach of Weecasper and C. Kino. Orlando Pirates took the time out to strategize, to try and figure out how to simply get points on the board. And in quick succession, as you said, Triple M, they're able to do exactly that. But boy, is this game far from over. We've had 2 overtimes already. Surely White Rabbit Gaming are posturing for another. Kino had to make a big stop there and does so successfully.
Does indeed, but Eli putting on the pressure here. It's Happy Meal who will defend this, does well, but now it's Weecasper off the backboard. Eli makes an oh so important touch. It's Friction now going airborne versus Eli, and now WRG caught backpedaling. Weecasper with the good save, Eli with a good follow-up, and it's not good enough. Unfortunately, Cams can't do any better than his teammates, and Pirates miss out on a golden opportunity to really put pedal to the metal and go 3-1 up. Now then, WRG with Weecasper here in the air and an opportunity. 60 seconds to go. What can they conjure up to get back into this game?
They've done it before in this exact situation, scored around the 20-second mark. So you know the White Rabbit Gaming, when they know they need to put pedal to the metal, they will do so. Kino not giving up on that play. Pass out to Weecasper, and they do it. They just do it. Somehow, Triple M, when White Rabbit Gaming need to respond, they do it.
Yep, Friction good patience, good trigger discipline. He's on the backboard, has no reason to touch it, can see everything that's going on the pitch and decides to leave it. Casper comes up because he knows that even if he misses that opportunity, listen, it's squeaky bum time. You can't be camping on the halfway line trying not to overcommit. In those circumstances, you've got to be aggressive, and it's paid off. And for WRG, I think that's been the key difference. It's now into the path of fiction, off the backboard, looking for Casper, who circles around but doesn't really commit, and wisely so. It's Cams now, goes for the dribble, and a cruise all the way into the opposition goal to take the lead back.
I love the teamwork here. I like him and Cams. They're kind of trading possessions here. Like, all right, you want to carry the ball? No, you. Okay, I like him. You know what? You take the ball. I'll play lead blocker. And though it took till later on in the push to the other end, he gets the demo. That's the go-ahead goal for Pirates to get their first win in this series. But it's not solidified yet. They've got to hold strong here. 10 seconds as Friction pushes up, rolling very deep in their own end as Pirates to kick away anything. I like him out of boost, though. Casper tries to push it around the corner. Kino with a last-ditch effort. And will it plummet to the ground? No! Casper finds Friction on the wall, but he can't keep the ball in the air. The Pirates win their first game. They win it after their timeout call, Triple M, but it was nothing easy.
Nothing easy at all. Again, 10 shots for Orlando Pirates. So that average of 9.4, they're very much overperforming it now for the second game in a row. And I tell you what, that game there was not the prettiest, but by any means, right? But they fought well, and they never let their heads drop. And that's the thing with Orlando Pirates. Even when they're not playing at their best, they have the capacity to win games because of the individual brilliance of Happy Meal, the individual brilliance of Eli, the individual brilliance of Cams as well. He was MVP in that game and had a lion's share of the points. So this sets things up pretty nicely as we go to the Utopia Coliseum. I think now we finally have a series on our hands, and WRG, the ball's in their court to respond now. Of course, they're still in the lead, they're still in the ascendancy, but I think Pirates are now starting to edge their way back into the series.
Does feel like that, especially after White Rabbit Gaming were the first to score, and then Pirates sort of, as you said, kind of itch their way back there. But I am still worried for the Pirates. As you said, Triple M, it wasn't the cleanest win, right? And we talk about individual performance from the Orlando Pirates. What I saw, especially from White Rabbit Gaming, were their ability to push so far up the field via their air dribbles. They just seem to be on it and are able to push it so much farther. And I think I want to see from the Pirates them to contend against those air dribbles earlier on. We get a quick pause here, by the way, guys, just sorting out some details in the spectating there. But it's the point here, Triple M, of I think that if Pirates want to continue to stop White Rabbit Gaming on their pushes down the field and down the stretch, they need to contend them in the skies. And we know that Cams and those players like him, they have the ability to do that.
Yeah, and I think another thing that WRG are doing really well is that in comparison rather to Pirates, when they get those opportunities where the ball does get flashed across the net and the ball is somewhere in the middle, they've always got numbers forward, and they're so aggressive. They're not afraid to leave the space open in the middle of the park in those tight situations where you need a goal and you're 2-0 down. I think Pirates have been a little bit conservative, especially when they've been at the deficit, which to me doesn't really make too much sense. I mean, when you're down anyways, overcommitting really isn't a problem as far as I'm concerned. But you know, sure. anyways, Eli Kim here gets the kickoff. It's into the path of Cams. We are in, I believe this is game number 4, a 2-1 deficit for Orlando Pirates, but a much more promising performance in the last game, and hopefully they can build on that. For WRG, I don't really know if you change anything. It's more or less the same. It's a case of don't cry wolf until you actually see a wolf type thing. They don't need to do a thing differently here. They just need to keep putting pedal to the metal. As Kino puts another good save, it's Happy Meal gets a touch. Can't put that in the back of the net. And WRG weather the storm in the opening 30 seconds.
I'm really wondering what Eliakim and Cams were drawing up in that moment, because while Cams is trying to score, Eliakim is on the complete other side of the ball. It weirdly almost worked out with Happy Meal's follow-up, but regardless, this is looking a bit similar to Game 2, which, though the Pirates didn't win, they had most of the pressure at the beginning of the game, and that follows suit in this game. But White Rabbit Gaming keen to attack once again. Cams does find it at the half court, though. Casper in position to pick this up, and Eliakim eliminated, so Cams has to play this in the midfield and does that well. This is what I wanted to see from the Pirates, is contending in the midfield when the ball is highly elevated, not giving White Rabbit Gaming too much time in that situation. Pass out to Kino, denied by Happy Meal.
Yeah, Fiction was lurking as well, so Happy Meal does well to get away. Happy Meal gets past one, can't get past the second. We've seen a few marauding drives here, but not really anything too spectacular. We're still waiting for that complete team dribble. Of course, it's very hard to do at this level with the level of quality that's on the field, but it would be nice, just for the hype. It's Casper now with some service into the middle. Kino waiting patiently. He looks to bring another pass into the middle as well. Just rinse and repeat for WRG very much. Always just going down the flanks and using that space out wide that Orlando Pirates have given them, because going through the middle just isn't an option. It's way too contested. And that's very much been a theme of these two teams. It's now into the path of Eli. He's very awkward, backpedaling towards the ball. It's Casper now. Can't get it into the middle. An unceremonious second touch means that the attack is over for WRG, and now it's time to defend. It's Cams almost pulling out something really special.
You got to keep your eye on Cams at all times, I feel like. He has been able to been the top of the scoreboard, at least for Orlando Pirates, but you got to consider who's doing it on White Rabbit Gaming. Friction, great pass up. Cams can't get a piece of it, so Kino takes the last slice.
Yeah, in between both players and perfectly into the center of the goal. Precision, accuracy, and just awareness of mind. That's what you get with Kino when he's playing at his best, in addition to his mechanical excellence. It's now WRG once more in the lead with 2 minutes and 16 to go. Kino now gets past one, looking for the backboard. A demo comes out on the back post. Kino, could have got a touch there, but decides to rotate back intelligently. Happy Meal with the shot, and Eli finally gets a response for Orlando Pirates with 2 minutes to go.
Been waiting for Eliakim to wake up here, and, well, he's wide awake. Okay, look at the placement. Friction thinks he'll take high. So Eli goes low, and there's the equalizer. Happy Meal very smart as well to lift that ball in the air instead of playing in to the 50-50 that was constructed, or at least architected, by White Rabbit Gaming. They just couldn't find it. Woo. Conglomerate there near the goal line, but it allows Casper to break out. Can't find the double, but it's down off the crossbar. Nobody can read it. Kino's still up for the ball, and it's saved by Cams. Cams and Eliakim produced a wall to not allow that ball to go through.
Yep, it's a good shot here, and Kino with an awkward save. Cams puts it back into the path of Happy Meal, who decides to rotate out, and wisely so, I might add, because WRG could have easily hit them on the break there if that went wrong. Eli now has to defend with his back to the ball. Kino with the shot, Happy Meal with the save. Kino gets demoed, Eli takes it forward. A marauding Sunday afternoon drive down the left-hand side. Doesn't end up in anything special there. But wow, the action here is absolutely scintillating. Happy Meal now gets an interception. Fiction forced to play it awkwardly back to his own corner there. It's Eli gets the 100 boost for good measure. Cams gets all the boost on the other side. So WRG probably very low in boost at the moment, and now it's all about how Orlando Pirates can capitalize. They've got, you feel there's almost a chance here for Orlando Pirates to swing the series if they can just game manage the next 46 seconds.
Oh yeah, the gameplay's really opened up. The pace has as well. We talked about it earlier. It's all about how you can work off of your feet. I think that spontaneous moment is what's going to decide this game as well, as we just have 30 seconds remaining. Casper wants a big bomb down the other side of the field. Could even get a bump on the goal line to allow somebody to score. Maybe not two at once, though. White Rabbit Gaming, what's going on there? It's a quick turnaround for Pirates, but Casper still back so quick on the recovery. A launch from Cams, trying to enable Eliakim, but it's an instant push from Kino down the mid-stretch. Happy Meal following this ball. Casper wants to control, but Cams won't allow it. Off of the ceiling now. Two defenders, staunch, ready for the battle. On the goal line, Kino just carries this ball towards the ground. It's lifted up. Kino down the stretch, under the ball, two players on it, and it's batted to the ground. Another overtime in this series.
Overtime once more. Will this one end quickly? He comes into a dangerous position early on, and Casper weathers the storm almost as good as you can under the circumstances. No boost in the tank, but he goes all the way to the byline there and nearly troubles Happy Meal. It's now Orlando Pirates. Ooh, they're back in the favor of WRG here as they get a flash. Just a potential moment there of perhaps launching a counterattack, but unfortunately it isn't meant to be. Now it's with Casper. He will get dispossessed by Happy Meal. Kino tries to clean up, doesn't do a very good job. Eli all the way towards the goal. Friction, awkward, but manages to keep his car under control and stay in the right path of the ball.
Okay, White Rabbit Gaming, what do you have as an answer here? They can earn a match point situation with one single goal here. They can earn a second championship showing, possibly, or at least a match point there if they can get this win. But they're going to have to continue to weather the storm of the Pirates in this overtime. They are unrelenting in these possessions. And Happy Meal, as he leads the scoreboard right now, tries to architect something, but Eli can back up. There's someone trying to read it there up the ceiling, so he's got to get rid of it quickly to not allow for the easy clear, but there it is. Monstrous amount of power on it. Cams has to read this. Punches it out from his corner, but Casper expects that off in the backboard. Friction looking for the goal. It's tapped between Eliakim and Cams. It will go safely to the corner, but only for a moment. Happy Meal lurking in his own net to kick it away once again.
Yeah, desperate times for Orlando Pirates. Kino now looking for the setup. Kino goes all the way, and Happy Meal is forced to desperately scramble across his line to save that one. It's Eli into the path of Happy Meal. Kino with the good interception. Very aggressive defending from WRG, pressing high up the field, occupying those central channels, and not allowing Orlando Pirates to play well through the middle. It's been a theme of their defense. It's now Cams off the backboard. Eli tries to produce a shot. Doesn't do a very good job, and it's understandable because it was a very awkward angle. It's now Cams again, once more, going into the heavens, and again WRG produced the goods. Casper with a good block, and now WRG will look to take it the other way, but not without any difficulties on the halfway line there.
Goodness me, there's plenty of difficulties right now for both teams. I mean, this goes back to the earlier parts of this series where, oh no, that's dangerous from Friction. Pirates had so much pressure, but they just can't get past White Rabbit Gaming no matter how many shots they put together. And then in a moment's notice, a flash in the pan, White Rabbit Gaming come back with a counterattack to try and score. The Pirates have to be so careful in these situations because of how dangerous White Rabbit Gaming can be on their attempts. Cams with another push forward. I really think Pirates, they're going to need to push the envelope at some point here because they're attacking the net. Yes, but is it with enough ferocity? I think it's a bit careful in this overtime situation. They may just have to give it their all as Eliakim pushes up. That's the last touch, and it's going to be enough. It beats out the last defender. The Orlando Pirates of a long overtime will tie up the series.
Yeah, after defending and soaking up so much pressure, Orlando Pirates finally get their opportunity at the other end and beat WRG. It's now 2-2 in the series, and what a close game that was. I feel like I've said that for every single game because it genuinely has been truly magnificent Rocket League between these two teams. I don't even know where to start. I suppose the first question is there. Do you think that that was the best performance for Orlando Pirates of the 4 games, or are you still not convinced?
I think over the series, I've been more and more convinced by the defense of Orlando Pirates. The series started with the Pirates gaining more of the possession, but White Rabbit Gaming looking way more lethal on their shot chances. The Pirates, I wasn't convinced as to their formidability on defense as I was for White Rabbit Gaming. But over time, it's getting better and better. So that overtime brawl was very good for the Orlando Pirates. They weathered any storm that White Rabbit could produce and then slowly but surely broke down White Rabbit until they could score. So I think that game was instrumental in the Orlando Pirates establishing some control in this series. But still, an overtime's an overtime. Triple M, these games as close as they can be. This series as close as it can possibly be as we head into Game 5.
Yep, game 5 on the Utopia Coliseum. It can only be Utopia for one, dystopia for the other. There must be a winner, there must be a loser. Now then, game 5, it is getting very interesting between these two teams. Casper goes for a dribble. Happy Meal declines. Happy Meal takes it forward into the path of, it's Friction now who takes it away, but Eli with some good pressure. Oh man, it's, well, every touch is feeling more and more important and heavy here with every passing second. And so far, WRG again have weathered the storm successfully in the opening minutes. Now it's time for Pirates to do the same, and Cams with a very good improvised save there. That one looked dangerous.
Yeah, that looked more like a routine in and out save that was much closer than it should have been. I was a little worried for Cams in that moment, and I'm worried for Happy Meal because for a moment he was the only defender there. I am starting to wonder as well, Triple M, was there supposed to be a timeout from White Rabbit Gaming during that break between games 4 and now games 5? Hold on, I can double tap to set up Happy Meal. Timeout or not, it doesn't matter. Pirates, they're on a streak of their own and will score the first in game 5.
Well, the benefit of hindsight is that we can look at that goal now and say, maybe they should have taken that timeout. But it's not over yet. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. WRG, they seem to be marginally on the back foot now. It seems to be Pirates who have the spring in their steps. It seems to be Pirates who are exuding with confidence, and Happy Meal looks to make it too. Oh, so close. Maybe on another day, but Cams now will try his luck again. Eli will keep it up, and Happy Meal will probably give chase. It's Kino who has to be careful. Happy Meal does well. Casper also does well. It's now into the path of Friction. What can he conjure up? A response for WRG? No, it isn't. Cams with a good save.
It does start to feel like there's some players from White Rabbit Gaming that are breaking under the pressure. Touches that are guaranteed just about for these players are going amiss on the backboard. And Pirates, you know they're going to take advantage of exactly that. Again, very close there from Casper, which looks more like a routine save. So I do wonder how White Rabbit Gaming are keeping up with this high pressure situation. Of course, they did go to Game 7 with Nixa and defeat them, but they're going to need to do more to defeat not just the Pirates, but Eliakim. In this game, in the last Triple M, he is heating up.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say about that? It's just really good awareness for him to go for that play, the mechanical ability required to execute that play, and then the presence of mind for Happy Meal to track that ball all the way to the byline and assist his teammate to pinch it in. Teamwork makes the dream work, and Orlando Pirates right now are living their best dream. It's 2-0 against WRG, and a potential lead looming over the horizon for them in the series. It's now Cams again, giving chase, forces an awkward touch out of Friction. Casper comes with some great aid, and it's Happy Meal now again with another interception in the middle of the park. I'd love to know how many he's had in the series. It's Eli with a good touch off the backboard. Kino with an unconvincing touch has to follow it up, but can't. And Casper with an uncharacteristic miss there will give Cams an opportunity to go again. Pirates are just relentless in their pressure and their desire to barrel down the door of WRG, and so far they've been unable to respond successfully.
Here's the thing, you got two veterans on this Pirates squad that have been in this situation, this top 4, even the top 2, time and time again. Cams being one of them. And they, if anyone is under pressure, if anyone's going to gain momentum in a high pressure situation like this, it's going to be these players exactly. They're taking advantage of a lot of defensive mistakes right now from White Rabbit Gaming, and it appears to be slipping for WRG.
Yeah, well, as interesting as this game has been, there seems to be interesting word that we might have a potential restart on our hands with the admin getting kicked from the lobby. So, as if the series couldn't get more dramatic as is. But for now, we'll keep calling the action and keep you all updated. It's Friction going into the path there of Eli. It's Kino now with a touch off the backboard. And Casper tries to make something happen, but unfortunately to no avail. This is, this would have been a dominant win for Pirates if it had counted, but the way things stand, it seems like it won't.
No,
Like,
this
it will.
game is still
Okay.
on. This game is still counting. Absolutely. Yeah, it's just a lobby restart, but
Okay.
a very convincing lead right now for Pirates. All they've got to do at this point is hold on to it. That's the most important part, and they've done an exceptional job at that with a bit of a shaky defense from White Rabbit Gaming. We'll see if they can pull anything together right now to sort of give them a glimpse of hope in the next game, game number 6, where Orlando Pirates, it looks like they are going to have the match point. Eliakim sees Happy Meal in the midfield. Little cheeky backflip there for Happy Meal. He's thinking maybe let's just lock up our defense instead, for sure. Demolition. 15 seconds remaining. Ball off the crossbar here. Cams with yet another touch, and Eliakim keeps it in their enemy's domain. There it is. The most, by far, convincing win that we have seen today goes to the Orlando Pirates in a situation where they earn match point in the semifinals of the Winter Open for RLCS SSA. Triple M for OP. It just takes one more to get to that championship spot and finally get revenge against WRG.
Yeah, absolutely. For Pirates fans, it's relief. For the Pirates team, it's jubilation. But the job isn't done yet. It is now match point and advantage Orlando Pirates. And well, the story of that game is that they definitely had majority of the shots. And WRG, I want to say, just based on the run of play, spent a lot of time in that game defending, it seems like. So, I mean, they've got to make some massive adjustments. And what started out as a series where WRG looked like the team that was in control and poised, now it seems like it's gone completely the other way. And I can't even begin to think about where to break that down. What do you think Orlando Pirates did well this time around?
In truth, I think they're just a more durable team. I think they have the ability to have endurance and have that kind of stability and that longevity in a lengthy series. White Rabbit Gaming cracking under the pressure. That was 2 wins in a row from Orlando Pirates, the same time that the Pirates had called in timeout to try and settle the score and regain their confidence. Now White Rabbit Gaming have called that timeout. Now they get that time to sort of settle down and regain their confidence. So maybe they come back into this game looking better defensively. But yeah, I mean, we saw that shutout Triple M. I'm more concerned with the misses on the backboard, the inconsistencies that we just have not seen from this team until that last game. So here we are. Game number 6, folks. This is match point for the Pirates to try and finally get their first recorded win against White Rabbit Gaming this season of RLCS and earn that top 2 spot, at least, of this regional.
Well, the narrative between these two teams has been back and forth. Not sure that this is the official lobby, so this might be a test, and we'll definitely keep you updated as to when the official game will start. But just to continue talking about these two teams, I mean, the twists and turns and turbulence between these two teams in terms of their history seem to be starting today, because up until this point, it has been WRG, but now Orlando Pirates seem to be getting their revenge, as it were.
It does feel like that, yeah, that they're getting their revenge. And that's how this whole series was drawn up to be, right? These two teams had not played, not one single time of the whole season until the latest regional. They met in Swiss. White Rabbit Gaming won. They met in the semifinals, the same situation, and White Rabbit Gaming won. Like I said, I feel like the Orlando Pirates coming into this match, coming into this series, were very, very prepared against this exact team. Not to say that White Rabbit Gaming don't have that shared success of the history between these two teams and wouldn't do the same thing. But Pirates, this is the sticking point. This is the one roadblock for them to play against Limitless in the finals to get that match. That is exactly what they want. Now, Limitless not absolutely secured in yet today in their championship final today, but that is what they're looking ahead for, most certainly. So for them to perform so well, Triple M, I think in game 5 was very much exhibiting exactly that. So it looks like the players are getting ready. We'll get back into this match very, very soon in game 6. Triple M keys to victory for White Rabbit Gaming, because although it feels like they need to kind of tie up their shoelaces and get away from those inconsistencies, what's it going to take to bring this series to game 7?
I think more than anything, they need to sort out their defense because Orlando Pirates, more than anything, I think have just been barreling down and finding way too many holes and too many opportunities. And then the second priority is obviously taking more control in the midfield when you do have the ball, not going for the desperate long ball across, but rather just maybe taking time to control, taking time to breathe, and just try take time out of the game away from Pirates and stop their momentum, and maybe go for the aggressive plays when there's a minute left on the clock or so. Easier said than done, of course, but that's my very brief assessment of it anyways. It's into game number 6 now, and for WRG to extend their lifeline in these difficult circumstances, they must win this game, and they must win the next one to go on and win. So no more mistakes, only perfection against the second best and premier team in the country. Not an easy task, I can assure you, but they will try until the very end.
They will indeed. Till the very end. We are at the very start of this game number 6, in which White Rabbit, as you said, need that win to stay alive. And they're getting started with some good looks here. Starting to maybe make Pirates break a sweat here, as the ball has spent an ample amount of time. The blue end, Happy Meal follows this convincingly. However, Friction there with that 50. The defense starting to break loose with these bumps and these double commits from Pirates. You wonder if White Rabbit Gaming can take advantage, but they're rotating very wide around the map, so they can't continue the pressure, at least not in dominant fashion. I'll tell you what, though, Triple M, these demos, these bumps, they're coming out big.
Absolutely, they are, and it's, well, for Orlando Pirates here, a good attack coming up. It's Cams with a great pass from Happy Meal to take a 1-0 lead with just 3 minutes and 30 to go.
Ooh, okay, Happy Meal. All right. Do him like that then. God, that was a margin away from the most electric double tap that we have seen. From the tallest of heights, Happy Meal slamming it down. And hey, missed double taps create some of the best passes. So Pirates taking advantage of the skies here, taking the match to new heights. And it's working out for them, at least for now. Still, much of the game remaining here. But the Pirates, I mean, they woke up midway through this series, Triple M, and they show no signs of sleeping.
Indeed. And it's important in these circumstances with all that's at stake, not just Championship Sunday today, but that wildcard spot in the long term. Everything matters, and moments, those are the key. You've got to take your moments. It's Eli now with a great flash across the box, but not too much for WRG to worry about. You do think that it does feel like they need to get something now if they are to change this deficit and maybe, just maybe, get back into the series. But for now, Orlando Pirates are comfortable. It's Cams over 1. Eli gives chase, waits for Friction to do something, then acts accordingly. It's now Kino who tries to clear. Cams intercepts again. Oh, so important. He goes for another play off the top and gets as far as the backboard until being rejected.
Oh boy, pass out to Cams. He takes it low. And these passes off the backboard are just prime real estate right now for the Pirates. White Rabbit Gaming have done a better job at locking it up, but still we're seeing those moments, as you said, Triple M, those occasions of inconsistency that are allowing Pirates to dominate a 2-0 lead as they carve their path to the finals.
Absolutely. It's WRG now. They've got to get their pedal to the metal and really start playing some Rocket League. There's another demo to a WRG player, giving Eli a bit of space here in the middle of the park. He decides to back out and go refuel his tank. And now Pirates can start to shift to a more defensive formation, especially when they're rotating now, because they've got that 2-0 cushion and they don't need to overcommit. And suddenly they have the benefit, and Cams makes it 3. And now WRG are most certainly staring at an exit.
Oh, things looking very uncertain for White Rabbit Gaming. They've at least been able to counter these swift movements, these transitions from defense to offense for the Orlando Pirates, but it appears no longer as they move very quickly. Oh, it's all up to White Rabbit Gaming now to settle the score and finally rival back, but boy, is time wearing thin.
Yep. Indeed. 90 seconds to go. It's now with Fiction playing it backwards, very awkward touch, putting his team in a compromising situation, and Cams doesn't need a second invitation on opportunities like that. That is game, set, match.
I'll tell you what, I've had a ranked game or two that went the other way, so I don't want to call it too closely, but you are giving WRG a chance here, if anything. That's for sure. Happy Meal. Oh boy, this is looking very dangerous here. Very slow on the 50-50. If anything, they're just looking to drain this clock, which they're doing quite well. Happy Meal, a shot on net. That I'm comfortable calling it there. Triple M 5-0. And this is just incredible to even react to, because we've had so many overtimes, so many close battles. This series has been a gauntlet for both teams, but suddenly last game is a 3-0 win. This game up to 5-0. Pirates in this occasion have the durability.
Yeah, what started as an eagerly contested affair has now turned into a complete embarrassment. Happy Meal scores yet another, and surely that is the second hat-trick on Orlando Pirates, if I'm not mistaken. Or actually, no, Cams has 4 of the goals, so never mind.
Yeah, either way, it's a lot of goals. And listen, could you have any more of a convincing... Oh boy, that was close. Kino will find one here. So there is some consolation for White Rabbit Gaming, but even with this scoreline, it appears as if there is a very convincing argument for Pirates to have the best chance against a team that could be limitless in the finals. We have yet to determine how limitless and ATK break down in that situation. But yeah, seeming as strong as they have against White Rabbit Gaming, and especially their ability to adapt. We have to remember, Triple M, that this series started 2-0 in favor of White Rabbit Gaming. They called a timeout, they switched it up, and they've won now 4 in a row.
And you spoke earlier about the ability to adapt at this level, something that does get talked about a lot, but I don't think people truly understand the difficulty of it, because it's not about just adapting as an individual and making those micro adjustments to your own game, but as a team, understanding how to find patterns, understanding how to find flaws and holes in the opposition, and then also come up with a plan, an adequate plan, to fix it. And then if that plan doesn't go well, come up with another one on the fly. You're doing this all in a matter of microseconds at times, and Pirates have done it, and they've made it look easy. They struggled against this team in the first 2 games, and now they've just put 6 past them. I mean, what a series. And honestly, it just demonstrates how good they really are. We are now going to bring back altruism to the desk to help us break down what I think is a series that I don't think anybody expected to end in this fashion.
Oh, there is good reason, gents, why I didn't want to put a prediction there. I know, Pyro, that you were fuming by the time I sent it off there. But for good reason, right? 2 games in, WRG looking like they had that in the bag. How many overtimes? I think 2 overtimes in general. And then eventually, Orlando Pirates just seem to bring a next level of gameplay out of that, take it to the next step, and clean it up in a 4-2 victory. So I believe that was Pyro. You were the one who said Orlando Pirates, my friend, right? That was your prediction?
But hey, listen, all the credit goes to the players. I mean, it's interesting that you said, somehow like Orlando Pirates found their groove, right? Because when I looked at the player titles of all these teams, everyone had a regional finalist tag, but it was Cams and Happy Meal that had that regional champion tag, right? We all know those 2 players have that history, have that ability to take it all the way and find a regional championship. It's in them. It truly is. And though I thought White Rabbit Gaming may have an edge because they won a Game 7 against Nixa, you have to admit, things just started to break down. The wheels just came loose towards the end of the series for him.
Guys, don't go anywhere. We are going to have an interview with one of the Orlando Pirates players in just a second for you. But until we can get them online, Triple M, yesterday you and I chatted a little bit about it, and we said that Orlando Pirates, as good as they are, didn't really look to be up to the form that they were supposed to be at, the form that we've gotten to know from them for so long. Do you feel like today that just stepped up after that little break?
I think they have. I think they definitely have. And I think you saw the progression of that throughout the series. I think in the first couple of games, very scruffy, very close between both teams. And what you saw, a common theme, just in terms of the eye test, was that WRG were penning them in their own half a lot. And WRG were capable of really just sending all three men forward at times. And Pirates found a way to punish that. And as the series progressed, they took over the control. They were better in possession, they were better out of possession, and they were better in transition. And ultimately, it led to them clinching the series. So that level of adjustment and that rapid evolution in a series in such a short space of time is pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive right now. WRG, certainly a powerful team. Yesterday, we saw them take out Nixa, but not able to now push that next step. Paro, just talk to me about this a little bit and how this sets up the rest of the whole RLC. Certainly, it means Orlando Pirates with the big bit of points deficit between them and any other team that's really going to challenge them for that second place for now. Do you think that's insurmountable about any of the other teams? And how comfortable do you think Orlando Pirates are sitting at right now?
Well, we have to take the lessons learned from the last split. When we ended that last regional, it was White Rabbit Gaming to defeat OP to become regional finalists. And that really got them the points to kind of catch up to OP. This would have been a huge moment for them to close that gap, but now it just widens again. So looking at history, we see that it can repeat, you know, the same ordeal, and how close the series truly was against maybe that last game. Could certainly happen again. So I think this is going to continue to be a battle. That top two that we saw during the last season altruism is not the same top two of this year. It's getting more feisty. And you know what? I want to even see more teams in addition to White Rabbit Gaming try and take that 2 spot.
We started this weekend with such a tight fight for that top. I'm with you, though, and it's led to some of the most exciting Rocket League every step of the way. We haven't known who could take it, and it really has seemed like so many teams up and for that running. There's just one of these two teams going through to the finals, and we're going to very quickly soon decide, or at least find out, whether ATK is able to pip Limitless to be able to take their first final there and knock out Limitless from theirs. Maybe even take their first game of Limitless for the weekend. But before we do that, we had Eliakim yesterday really showing up, the first time we got to see him on chat, and we've got him here again today. So I'm going to hand off to you, Triple M, to find out a little bit more about what's going on in the mind of the Orlando Pirates.
Yeah, well, Eli, great to have you on. First of all, congratulations on the win. And second of all, the first question I want to ask you is, you guys, obviously by your high standards, there was a lot of conversation about you guys not perhaps looking up to the pace yesterday. Do you feel like you've rectified that today, and are you happy with your performance?
I mean, considering we lost the first 2 games, we were a bit stressed, obviously, going into game number 3. But, you know, Happy Meal as coach, he gave us a good pep talk and, you know, got us in the right mindset to pull 4 games in a row. So very happy with that. But performance-wise, I think yesterday we played very well. Today was a little bit scrappy. I mean, we are playing very, very solid teams. The top 2 spot is being contested quite frequently now. So I'm happy to, you know, get the performance out today. So.
Yeah, and I mean, on that point, against a team like WRG, who, as you know, have played you guys in the past, and they've had your number, was that a bit of extra motivation going into the series, knowing that this is one of the teams that is eyeing you for that top spot?
100%. I mean, even in RLCS points, they you know, up there. So you know, you got to really pull your socks up to play these, and it's not as easy as last year. These teams are scrimming a lot, and these players are getting very, very good. So. Again, yeah, it was a rough series and a very stressful series for us, but you know, we pulled it through, so very happy about that.
Yeah, and you guys pulled through in genuinely magnificent fashion. My last sort of question, I think, is those adjustments that you guys made. What was the conversation like? And when you're down in a series, what really are you looking to change?
Well, Hackmeal basically told us, you know, we can either sit here and lose and play poorly, or we're going to give it our best and give it our all and be happy to lose the way we did, or the way we you know, were on the track too. So we're either going to lose not playing well, or we're going to lose playing very well. And so that kind of gave us the confidence to push through. And, you know, Hackmeal as captain is, you know, he's got that pep talk to really push me and Cam's mental right up there. So very happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah, great points, well made. Thank you for availing yourself for the interview. You know, happy to see you finally, and man, good luck with the rest of the weekend.
Thank you, Triple M.
We'll throw back to the desk.
I like him. So good to see him on here. I do miss Happy Meal a little bit. He's one of my favorite people to get to see on one of these desks. Always so cheerful, always so complimentary about the rest. But I like him taking a step up. And I think someone that the crowd really enjoys getting to see, has a bright future ahead of him, the newest addition to the team, who slotted in so well, Pyro J, into this team over this year, right?
Absolutely. I will admit it took a little time for Eliakim to step up in this series, but oh my God, when he did, they were just relentless. So I love hearing about the conversation between game 2 and game 3 because, you know, us casters, us analysts, us on the desk is like, well, really, they need to implement this strategy. And actually, if they really turn this dial up, that's going to give them the win. But in reality, Happy Meal is just like, listen, we just need to give it our all, guys. Like, win or lose, like, let's just put it all out on the table and show everybody what we're made of. And they turn it around. Absolutely stunning to see and really cool to get those insights.
So good. And guys, you will obviously get to see them later. They have made their way to the grand finals. Now they get to put their feet back up and maybe just take a little bit of a pen and pencil to this next game, trying to figure out how they're going to beat whoever they're going to match up against. That game, of course, being Limitless versus ATK. A massive game coming up for our second semifinals. We're going to jump into that with saying goodbye to Triple M at the end of this, unfortunately. Muzz, instead, going to be coming to keep us company and bring you all the action. Oh, goodly goodness, it's going to be a cracker. We'll see you just after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rlcs Winter Open. This is SSA. If you're new to the scene, Sub-Saharan Africa welcomes you with the best action that we can. We're into semi-final number 2 right now. We just did get to see, just got through Orlando Pirates managing to turn that game around, turn around all the momentum against that White Rabbit Gaming side. Very, very nice play. Welcome to the panel. Is our newest member, Muzz. You're getting to be here. Did you get to see that last game? You're surprised that WRG didn't manage to clinch it out?
What happened there, right? First 2 games going to OT where White Rabbit Gaming took it, and then just they couldn't clutch up at the end, and then Pirates took the rest after that. I mean, it was so incredibly close. I mean, White Rabbit Gaming were holding their own the whole way through, and then, nope. Elikem Cam's Happy Meal, they just know how to clutch up when it does count. And so, after that, it was kind of a done deal.
Meanwhile, for this second game, now, probably not going to be the closest match, or at least certainly not one that we're predicting to be as close. More importantly, I think just going to be a much harder trial here for ATK to try and take down Limitless. Limitless so far, this entire weekend, not dropping a single game, putting on some incredible stats the whole way through. And Pyro J, what is it going to take right now? If you guys, by the way, want to get involved with this chat, I want to get that chat vote going straight away. Hashtag LMT for Limitless and hashtag ATK for ATK. So Pyro, break down this matchup here.
Yeah, happy to. I think what you're starting to ask there, Altruism, was like, what's it going to actually take to take down Limitless? Gotta make them feel uncomfortable, because this is a team that reduces inconsistencies to almost 0. They're very prone to making no mistakes and also making you make mistakes because they play very, very quickly and like to play the ball really high in the air as well. So I think ATK, they've got to be able to hold their own. And you know what? I got to give this team credit. I know they're dealing with a new edition of Galaxy, who, by the way, has impressed me so far this event. But these teams have met, and ATK refused to be swept. In their last 2 meetings, ATK were able to take a game off of Limitless, and once when they were may contain nuts. And then in the Fall Cup, they met for a best of 7. ATK took 2 games off of this Limitless squad. So again, they don't have Gizu anymore, but I don't want to paint this as Limitless are going to continue to not drop a game. They have the capabilities to do that, but I'm looking forward to ATK giving this a good shot.
ATK giving this a good shot. They obviously could be one of the toughest oppositions that Limitless have had to face so far. You know, Apex Gaming, Corsi Ballers, Team Espionage being the group stage that Limitless had to take out. No one really there at the biggest names of us. And then coming through the playoffs, Red Crown Esports, a clean 4-0 so far from Limitless. Muzz, is this going to be the biggest challenge? And how much bigger is this going to be? Is this going to be a maybe 1, maybe 2 games for the side of ATK? Or is Limitless just that far ahead?
Limitless are that far ahead, but I think ATK definitely have that kind of gumption and the consistency we've seen throughout the seasons to do well. So yeah, 1 or 2 games can definitely go to ATK, but you know, you'd almost be a fool to vote against Limitless here. So I mean, I think it's going to be a hard mountain to climb for the ATK lads, but they should be able to put maybe 1 or 2 out.
1 or 2, that's all you got. So I believe that that's your prediction then.
Yes, Limitless Alt.
Yeah, Pyro, quickly, easy.
Limitless.
Yeah, pretty easy, pretty quickly. I'm going to go that way. Certainly no back and forth on the panel this time. No hesitation from me. I am keeping my 100% record, or am I? Or am I? Still, 20% of our chat believes that ATK has a shot in this, a 1 in 5 chance. Will that be able to take it? I don't know. We're going to have to find out in just a second as we jump into the game. So without wasting any more of your time, let's see what the top people in SSA have to do. Limitless versus ATK. Take it away, gents.
All right. Well, Muzz, let's do this. I mean, I have my questions to Altruism, whether, deciding not to make a prediction last match keeps him at 100%. But we can talk about that in the green room. Yeah. We've got a great match here, Muzz, of Limitless versus ATK. We appear to be on the same page that although Limitless are geared to make a championship run, ATK are no cakewalk. We're both kind of expecting them to at least take a win here.
I mean, 100% right. You know, Worty and Willu come with tons of experience, and I think that kind of experience has rubbed off on Galaxy so far. Yes, there's small minor inconsistency when it comes to Galaxy's gameplay and just maybe nervousness, you know, that we've stepped up to this big stage. You can see it in the shooting, how the weekend's kind of gone. Sometimes a bit too much across the face of the goal in his over-eagerness. But, you know, they do have that ice in the veins here, Pirate J, to be able to get 1 or 2 off of Limitless. Can they win? Does anyone win against Limitless, right? It seems to be just they're doing far too well in SSA to lose now. And, you know, so they come in here to get a 4th regional win. That's what they're aiming for, right?
That's right. Yeah, we talked to Snowy yesterday, and, you know, we've talked to him throughout the whole region, throughout the whole season. Even last season, he talked about this, the main goal being able to compete at the world stage, at the international stage. So for them, in that perspective, this match is just another stepping stone to continue to set the bar very, very high for SSA. So you've got to respect that determination from the Limitless squad of being able to do that. Gotta say, though, for those rooting for an upset today, you can rest on 2 reasons to maybe see that coming. Number 1, in APAC, things got shaken up, okay? You don't expect James Cheese now elevate to lose, but they did in this exact situation in semifinals in this regional. Secondly, Limitless have lost 1 single match this entire season. It was in Swiss against Nixa, formerly Reformed at the time. So they have kind of that break in the armor, Muzz, that is possible. So something's in the air today that could produce an interesting result. That's all I'm going to say. Now, I think it's time to get to this match. Game number 1 of the semifinals of RLCS SSA Winter Open begins now.
I mean, I think Pirate J, you almost expecting a mosquito to go through a brick wall, right? You know, it's just going to be so incredibly tough, but it can happen. So we're going to see what happens. I mean, Titans can fall, but, you know, will Limitless start today? We're going to see what happens. Game number 1 in our upper bracket semifinal. It's down to the wire, Pirate J. You know, what are we expecting?
Yeah, I mean, we're expecting Limitless to show us exactly what they want to show us, which is setting the bar of SSA. Every single match, especially on broadcast, is a chance to showcase exactly that. I don't think they're going to take any moments really to slow down, shorten up. However, Snowy not on target with that shot that's right off of the crossbar. We're going to be looking at shot placement, especially throughout the series, Muzz, because Galaxy was one of the players to watch for me for ATK during this event, and although he's been outshining in terms of mechanics, he has hit the crossbar plenty of times this event. I'm looking for shot placement to be refined throughout the series.
Yeah, and we do see Tudafu there getting, dunk coming down almost on Galaxy. Worthy has to follow up as well. Can he make that shot? Goes into that wide post there, Pirate J. Now Worthy would find in the demo as well. Can Darth bring this one down, but Worthy is going to comfortably push that one out, and so they survive. For a few milliseconds, and Tudafu are able to get the first goal of the day.
This is something that is inevitable in this region, is to die for scoring. He does it that time against 3 defenders, and not even 3 can stop him. So that play a bit concerning on the defensive end of ATK, but it's only 1 goal at this point of the day. We have plenty of overtimes in the last series. Maybe we'll get to that point in this game as well, but Dar is trying to set up to die for off the backboard. Is Snowy going to slot in as the 3rd? No. He's playing back a bit far here, ensuring that he's got the resources to push up yet again. Darth clears out to the side for ATK to regain control. Good shot, but Snowy turns away.
Yeah, Willu, almost that demo coming just to fruition for Galaxy to be able to shoot there. Worthy taking a shot as well. Tudafu able to clear that one out. He has opportunity for ATK. Willu not able to sink that one home. Tight defense here from the Limitless lads, and already a counter coming up from Tudafu as Darth goes up, is beaten by Galaxy, doesn't beat Snowy, however, but ball gets shoved out on the midway line here, Pirate J. And so far, ATK having an attempt at trying to get the equalizer here, but nothing coming to fruition just yet. Tudafu finds Snowy when he plays out of his own corner there. Can he find a second man in the midfield? He's going to bring it down for Tudafu. Has a decent shot, but Galaxy was there to shove it out.
Very difficult save there for Galaxy as Darth came in with massive amounts of power. Wait, there's a flub on the defense there from Limitless. Snowy somehow recovers in time. I don't know if he had warp speed on the recovery there, but he ends up with the save in a situation where ATK, I mean, those are mistakes you gotta take advantage of.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, just opportunities going awry there as well. And so far, only one goal on the scoreboard. You have probably what a lot of us didn't expect here when you do face quite a formidable team like Limitless right now. And ATK still holding on here as we head towards almost 90 seconds remaining. Can we see ATK do something with their limited amount of possession they have? They're holding on to here. Oh, the mechanical prowess they're shown by To Die For. Can Snowy get the dunk? Not able to, as Galaxy is going to shove it there from that backboard. Darts here, third man backwardy. Trying to take a shot with nothing in the tank. Galaxy, though, doesn't get the dunk as well. To Die For there with the save and the quick counter from Snowy. Oh my goodness. Those quick counters, Pyro.
Yeah, very, very dangerous. And you could tell when Limitless, the moments where they really show their fangs, that they have teeth in this matchup, and it's those quick counters. As you mentioned, Muzz, the thing that is enabling those quick counters, by the way, is how readable ATK have been. Often, when they're on the top of the sidewall or the corner, they're just drilling a pass right in the center of the box. That's a good idea. Unfortunately, Limitless, they're not going to hang back in their net. They're going to expect that instantly and turn it into a clear and a pass down the field. So you've got to be really creative for ATK in the way that they kind of draw up their offense and produce something different. This no different for To Die For, as we've seen plenty of double taps from this player, but Muzz, they never get old.
Oh, beautiful little pop pass there from Snowy on that midway line, just to be able to find To Die For as well. Just, it wasn't aggressive. It didn't have to be hard. It was just a nice small touch, allowing To Die For to get the double touch and the dunks. So, Limitless, they know how to control the ball. They don't have to be too, fancy or fast power. They just have to be able to find each other on the field, and they do so. Up by 3 here in game number 1. And will ATK are going to have a lot of resolve to find something when we head to game number 2.
Yeah, this matchup looking a little more like, attempt to convince themselves that they can stay in this match. Oh boy. Well, containing Snowy, definitely something that's difficult. What we're seeing constantly, Muzz, is the pace of the game be pushed to limits that ATK are struggling to keep up with. Think about how many of the goals that we've seen have been produced off of the backboard, with ATK not being able to catch up towards the backboard to clear it away. Not that goal, but almost everyone before it. So ATK, they've got to find some way to match the pace of play from Limitless.
12 shots as well going towards the side of Limitless as well, Pyro J. They've definitely come out firing here for this semi-final. Oh, there we go. Snowy finds the 4th as well. So, I mean, you know what? They definitely want to put a stamp onto this series here. They want to get straight into that grand final versus Orlando Pirates. But my golly goodness, what do we do right here? You're 6-0, 30 seconds remaining. You've got Snowdo with 4 goals off of 8 shots. I mean, you can't stop these lads. When they're peaking, they peak.
Oh, they most certainly do. Listen, keys to victory for not just ATK, but honestly any team, is to contain Limitless to under 4 goals. I know that sounds ridiculous because it's like, okay, what do you mean contain under 4 goals? Yeah, you want to do that in any game. No, Limitless are just so lethal on offense that the only way to beat them is to keep them to maybe 3. Of course, we see 7 here, but, that was one of the sticking points when we saw them play against Red Crown in the quarterfinals. We've seen them in a couple games in the past keep Limitless to just 4 goals, and that was the way that they kind of gave themselves a chance. They had actually a couple overtimes where they kept them to 3 goals, and it was 3-3, and then Limitless score in OT. So it's really about trying to contain them. I can't talk enough about the backboard defense, but I mean, Muzz, you can see how that game kind of the wheels got loosened up and fell off towards the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, thank goodness this is going to be a best of 7 here, because ATK, they want to be able to find that resolve again. They want to find a way to come back into this. They want to limit those opportunities where Snowy and To Die For both getting up and putting the ball down off of those second touches and those clean passes that they make towards each other. Even though ATK had about what, 5 saves there. They still then conceded 7 goals, and that's just not enough, right? Shooting accuracy, so good from Limitless, and they've only begun.
Yeah, it truly is the
That's
only
the scary part.
It is only the beginning, yes. I think everything is scary about playing against Limitless. There's nothing really that you can hide from there. But ATK, I mean, you look at this roster and you see those RLCS regional finalist tags. You can't forget that Wordy and Wilu especially are players that they've been in this situation before. They played these Limitless players time and time again. So this is nothing new to them, right? They're not like, oh my God, Snowy and To Die For hitting unstoppable double taps. I've never seen this. No, it's about adapting every game that you go and continuing to play against this high bar that is set for SSA. So every single game is a learning opportunity, and every single game is an attempt to try and meet the pace of Limitless. But Limitless, they're ever changing, and they are always scary, as you mentioned, Buzz. So we'll hop into game 2 and see what ATK can do to combat the effort.
Yeah, and we've always had Ultras say on the panel as well that eventually you will have to face Limitless, and all you can do is prepare and be ready to face the music, right? So at the end of the day, it's going to come. It just depends, how prepared and how kind of ready you are to face against the danger that is these 3 players.
That's right. You always got to be prepared for a game like this. The beginning of this game sorting out to be a bit slower, just kind of how game 1 was. Takes a bit of time for Limitless to start firing away, and that respect is still given between both teams. To Die For cannot get past Wordy there, as he gets a good dunk on the 50-50. Galaxy stealing boost, but missing the ball. Darth has slipped it past 2 defenders, but Wordy again, very sturdy on the defensive end. Seen Galaxy do a lot with individual plays in this series, especially with the flip resets. But he's going to give that away and leave it up to Snowy to do that. That shot won't go, though.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tussle there between To Die For and Galaxy. Okay. Able just to get past Galaxy and get the flick over the last defender there as well and just make it look so simple. Nice slow 66 kph in there. Gets it over Willy's head. I think there was one last touch there from Willy, but To Die For able to drive that one in.
A little ghost touch there, and that just speaks to the finest of margins that To Die For operates on. He's assessing it all. What is going to be the play that beats them? To Die For, well, that is most certainly the play that is going to beat ATK on their shot chance there. Ends up with the save. Snowy now off the ceiling to meet Galaxy, and he will win that 50-50, but Darth follows up with the demolition. To Die For does see Darth on that side wall. The shot just a little too wide, but oh, you can always see how these transitions to offense for Limitless can be so quick.
Yeah, no, you can't even, have no one at the back when these guys are going to throw a ball at you, because then it's going to be, dangerous territory. The Galaxy trying to get the flick over Snow, not able to do so. Darth and To Die For, they just comfortably able there at the back, stopping Wordy's shot on. Galaxy with a nice cash flick over 1. Can he get past Darth? Not able to do so. Wheelie on this left-hand flank. Now, can he find a player in the midway line there? Oh, Wordy not able to get the shot in there from that left-hand side. Again, kind of deja vu of the first game. He had a slow start for Limitless Pyro, but then when those floodgates do get open, oh boy.
Yeah, it can get scary for sure. To Die For does see Snowy on the sidewall. There's a shot taken. Wordy cannot find the touch. Must have come close there. And it's so... at this point, you have to read it, because Limitless are farming these sidewall shots that transition the ball from the midfield to ATK's net in the blink of an eye. And ATK, they just still cannot keep up with it. Listen, Limitless shot power and precision are not going to change whatsoever. The number of defenders may, as Snowy, I think, got in front of Darth's shot there. But ATK are the ones that will need to change in order to get in front of those shots.
Yeah, no pre-jumping at all is going to, have helped Word to be able to get up there to stop Snowy on that shot there. So 2-0 right now, going to the side here of Limitless against ATK. Darts just slowing down the play. They can have all the possession in the world right now. They are ahead, and famous words from our panel often, Limitless can, they get that lead and then they get to relax and they can coast. To die for, oh, he's taking this one in very slowly, almost a bicycle kick coming up from Dot as well. Well, they seem to be maybe playing around a little bit here with the ATK in the semi-final, but just having fun with it as well. Yeah, Galaxy, he's got to bring it from his own corner there, but more of a precarious pinch to that corner there that allows 3 Limitless players ready to get into that ball, and we've seen already a lot of the dunks and the double touches coming from those backboards. Werty, can he get over to Darfur? It's going to go up towards the ceiling here. Bit of a slow play here as we get towards this business in Japaro.
Most certainly, but the game's still close as we trail down to that final minute. Already going to give that up to Weelu. I am trying to key into Darth's play as well because he's been a little more quiet today. While to die for and Snowy had over 700 points in the last game. He was hovering around 200, and he's very, very important piece of this puzzle. But I want to see how he operates on the offensive end. Looks like more he's kind of keeping to the defensive end of the possession right now. And available to play that third man, Snowy, not afraid to turn in, but Darth going to be the next on the ball. It's actually worthy to get past him, but Snowy, quick in succession. Coming down on that half minute remaining. Muzz, the ball game's still very close, but ATK got to find a way to score.
Yeah, they're going to have to do so very quickly now because we're only about 20 seconds remaining of our regulation time here. Darth finding that demo onto Weelu as well. Ball going towards the Limitless corner here. Can't they do something with it? The Weelu wants to try and get up there, but Darth was very successfully shoved that one out to die for. Finds the corner. Is there going to be a typical Limitless dunk here? Does it go a little bit too wide for them? Snowy is there, and Galaxy from the sidewalls has to push this out, but of course the clock ticking down here should be Limitless taking game number 2 as well. Oh, well, To Die For says he wants a third before that happens.
A third it is there. Chalking it up there at the 0-second mark, getting right past Wordy and Weelu. Just no hope on that nice high play. There is going to be a timeout called on the side of ATK, so we will get a little bit of time. You got to remember that Orlando Pirates, hey, they did the same thing last series in the semifinals when they went down 0-2 against White Rabbit Gaming. They went ahead and called timeout, and hey, they won the next 4 games. Now, ATK maybe not postured to do the same. Unfortunately, Muzz, there was one key to victory I mentioned, which was keep Limitless under 4 goals. They did do that, but that's only one of the keys to victory. This team needs possession time. I mean, if we had stats, if we had percentages on how long Limitless spent in ATK's half, it would be absurd. The ATK being able to chalk up 4 shots on net is good, but they got to find a way to make Limitless break a sweat.
And that seems to be pretty tough to do right now because, as you mentioned there, in the middle of the game, Darth as well not really showing us what he's doing right now, not really flexing those muscles just yet. So when ATK could only put 4 shots on, due to that position you're talking about and just kind of being dispossessed as well by Limitless, no wonder this timeout's coming so soon, right? How often do you see teams going into game 3 and they already pick up the timeout there as well? And Werty, of course, knows he needs to have a chat with his teammate there. Leox as well, the coach, needs to just see what they can do to what Pyrojays, just to try get on the other end of that, defensive third of Limitless and try to put one in. They've had opportunities, there've been moments, but that's just at brief moments.
Yeah, they got to make those moments count, but more certainly need to make more of those moments on offense right now. There's too many things to fix, honestly, Muzz. The list is very long, so it's only right that they called a timeout to be able to discuss all of those items. And listen, we could go on and on about it. We could say how the counterattacks are probably the most dangerous component right now. The Limitless that ATK have not had an answer for, but I remember back to the interview that Eliakim mentioned. What did Happy Meal say in their interview or in that timeout portion after they went down 0-2? It wasn't particular strategies. It wasn't this thing or specifically that. It was, guys, we just have to play our best game. Like win or lose, let's show everybody like what we're made of. And we're either going to lose not playing our best or lose actually playing our best or win. So the point is, ATK just need to give everything that they have right now, everything they've trained for, not to hold back, not to feel hesitant against Limitless, but to give it their all.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Put everything out on the field right now. You know, you're at a very important Winter Open semi-final right now. Game number 3. Put everything down on the line and have no regrets, as Werty wants to try swiftly play from his own corner there, but already dispossessed by Tudaifa, and Wheelu able to pick up that ball as well. Not too much left in the tank as he's going to air dribble most of the way down that field here. Can ATK put something together? Shot on there by Werty. Oh, it goes just wide on that far post there. Almost an opportunity for ATK to take the lead.
Well, they're putting their all out on the field right now, that's for sure. Good look there from Wordy, but a little bit questionable on the back pass there as it was to Wheelu that got away from him. They're still able to turn it into another possession here as Wheelu catches that clear, but leaves it up for Snowy. I don't think that's the first touch that they were looking for. Snowy looking dangerous as he hangs around that ball with the first jump and dodges into it for the goal.
Yes, finds himself his second touch there as well, or even a third as he passes to himself. And you mentioned a lot of those wall plays that have been very successful here for the Limitless side. And you know, how does one even begin to deal with just, you know, a lot of the plays coming from those walls?
It's very difficult indeed, especially when they're lining them up from clear to pass. I mean, at a certain point for ATK, they've got to look for exactly those passes. That's great observation there, is that they're cutting off those passes off the sidewall. Good interception. The vision has to improve right now for ATK, and we're starting to see that, but is the composure there? Snowy able to fake pass one, but not flick past the other to die for off that reset. Could get a second, a third touch, maybe even find its way under the crossbar, but no. It pokes right out. Wheelu has the option of Wordy. Wordy trying to play blocker, but to die for avoids it and kicks that ball away.
Yeah, just a brief moment there for ATK to get a counter strung together through Wheelu and Werty. Now Snowy already sending all the way downfield. Werty is back, does make the save. A little bit of interference still called there by Snowy. Darth not able to take that shot there. Now Tudaifa caught a little bit too high up, but he's very, very speedy and he'll be able to get back there. So Werty not able to sink that one in. White Wheelu is there. Galaxy takes the shot. Galaxy can't drive it home because Darth puts a fat body in the middle of those goalposts there. Pyro J just, you know, ATK are trying, but they keep on getting stopped.
Yeah, but boy, is this more convincing than previous games, huh, Buzz? I mean, we're loving the fact that, yeah, this is what I asked for, really, was for Limitless to be forced to break a sweat. And I feel like they've had to climb up to some tough chances against ATK, but here they come on that transition again. Wheelu, not the touch he's looking for. Snowy takes advantage.
Just catching that last defender as well, a little bit too out of the box, and is able just to get it past him on that right-hand side, beat the man and score. Well, Limitless are showing us a masterclass in what it is to play Rocket League right now. Galaxy does take the shot, and they're kept up once again by Darth. Darth doing superbly well, does have the 3 saves to his name at this moment in game number 3. Wheelu trying to take the shot there as well. Tudaifa does keep him out on that near post. Ball going all the way downfield. Darth, though, just unfortunately gets that backboard as well. He wants to get his name, I'm sure, on the scoreboard as well, because Snowy and Tudaifa are taking all the goal opportunities right now. ATK need to find something up their sleeve right now. They need to at least put in one and have that consolation goal. Well, there it is. Darth will find himself quite a comfortable open net.
Undoubtedly one of the most consistent and reliable players that exists in Rocket League. I love that Floor Destroyer title that he's sporting as well. That's the one you want to sport to tell people that you mean business out here. But seriously, wherever he is on the scoreboard doesn't matter much to me, Muzz, because whenever he's on the ball, you know that it's going to be not just a very convincing play, but also a smart one as well. That's why Darth and Snowy have achieved so much together between this season and the last. And the duo of Darth Snowy is going to be able to score the 4th as Limitless begin to run away with another game.
Yeah, Wheelu as well, trying to get round from that corner quickly to make the save. They're not able just to get there speedy enough as he does hold onto this ball now. To Galaxy did get the demo there onto Dafo as well. Really trying to get a nose to the ball there, wasn't able to get that final touch to Dafo, again making a clinical save. Galaxy's up, slight whiff there of the ball to Dafo, wants to send it down the mid line now, and Werty's there with the ball. Wilu gets a touch as well. Wilu, can he boss his way through these blue defenders? They are so beefy at the back. Shot on by Snowy. Galaxy, though, finds a touch, is able to shove it out.
Minute remaining here. Darth up to the ball, but can't find the touch. Wilu will have time on this ball. Pass out to Wordy. Oh, maybe an attempted give and go there. I'm not sure, but the ball breaks loose here for to die for to get a touch. Can he steal the goal? Not quite. Snowy racking up the tally out here. That is 4 goals for him in this game, and I don't know, Muzz, an unlimited amount so far this match.
Yeah, and you know, just a vision there from Snowy as well. He understands that a lot of the ATK players are really high up, and so he can send a long ball down towards goal. As long as he's on and that accuracy is fine, he's going to be able to get to the back of the net. And so he does about 75% of the field shot there, and he gets it in. Ooh. Snowy once again finds that top bins, and man, oh man. So what, floodgates once again?
It's Championship Sunday.
Yeah.
Because if these teams, these players are going to give their best no matter the occasion, no matter the scoreboard, no matter what they see. If it's a ball in front of Snowy, he's going to break loose and show everyone exactly what he's made of. That is a ripper of a shot that we saw there. We got half a minute remaining now. Limitless showing exactly what kind of bar is set in SSA. And it is made of some goals that just appear to be almost unstoppable to die for. Looking for that final touch off the backboard. Snowy fits back into the rotation off the backboard. It's cleared once again across the width of the field. Darth around the corner now. Gets a second touch as well. And those extra touches just so... what makes Limitless so dangerous here. ATK exhausted of their resources, their rotation. It all breaks loose, and Limitless score a 7th.
Yeah, 2 players there in the back of the box from ATK as well. I think backs also facing toward the shooter as well, so just kind of finding themselves in the best position to try to stop that shot there from to die for. Galaxy as well, doing well, taking a shot in there. Of course, Darth to keep that one out, but 7-0 here in game number 3. Pyrojan, we head towards series point.
Keep thinking back, Muzz, to the fact that ATK, they in every series that they've played this Limitless team this season, they've been able to take a game off of Limitless. That was kind of the statistic that I was relying on. That was in 3 different series this season that helped me believe that this team could rally the troops and get something together. I'm not really convinced of that anymore. I just got to be straight up and honest, Muzz. And Limitless, though ATK may be getting better and they're trying to find the right groove with the third of Galaxy, what you have to remember, Muzz, is Limitless are getting better too. They're not just preparing to win regionals here in SSA, they're preparing to operate on the world stage. That is the most difficult thing right now for other teams in SSA, is to not just get better to catch Limitless, but get better quicker than Limitless are improving.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, and Limitless, picked up their NA coach in Noxus as well, which I think has been doing absolute wonders for them, because they're not trying to, train for the Winter Regional, the Winter Invitational. They're looking at that wildcard spot and they're thinking, okay, how can we train and practice 9 regionals from now? And this is kind of just the hurdles they have to jump through each stage of the way to get there. And, they are giving us the absolute masterclass right now. So, match point here, Pyro J, do we see ATK kind of pull something big out the hat, or is it going to go, towards the side of the blue?
The way this match is going, it does not look favorable one tiny bit for ATK, but a new game is a new game. It's a clean slate. It's a chance for ATK, one final chance in this regional, potentially, for them to show us what they are made of. As they continue to try and reach the same heights as that regional finalist role that they already achieved in the previous split. This split not looking like they'll get the same chances to die for. Breaks past 2 defenders and finds that final shot.
You know, just in case maybe, you know, no one else knows this Pirate Jet, but of course Limitless have also not dropped a game yet at all in this Winter Open. So, you know, they're going very much undefeated straight through into this grand finals, and hopefully we're going to see Orlando Pirates able to break that record now, because man, oh man, Limitless having an absolute tear here through this Winter Open. To die for, trying to take the shot, and it doesn't get the dunk on Galaxy, but he gets the second touch and a repeat dunk as well, assist from Darth.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering how to die for.
Nice.
Okay. There's the goal.
Nice.
Ended up with that goal because, you know, the beautiful thing about that is everyone is on that play. Darth, Snowy to die for. They all know that that is a very, very viable scoring chance for them. And so, yeah, they do indeed take it. It's a very, good chance still, though, for ATK as Weeloo pops up for this. It's a moment where Limitless are caught lacking.
Yeah. No, very good shot there from that left-hand side. But Galaxy to pass infield to find Wheeler there, and they just past the last defender. So here we go. I mean, this is what we want to see, right? Is it going to be a game for shenanigans where ATK will be able to bring it back? I mean, maybe not reverse sweep kind of territory, but at least pick up one game and break that curse that Limitless have been thrown down here on the Winter Open. ATK again in defense here. To die for looking for the dunk, able to get kept out though. Wheelu, can you do something with it? Galaxy causing a bit of interference, but Snowy goes up. Is he going to get the touch on? Looks for that pinch, though kept out by Werty.
Okay, Galaxy, what do you got in terms of a clear? It ends up right in Snowy's hands, and he places it top corner. This is a very striking difference maker between ATK and Limitless, where Limitless are operating clears to the side wall, straight in position for a teammate to clear down the entire stretch of the court. ATK are just trying to survive. ATK are just trying to hope that that clear doesn't meet someone from Limitless. Well, it certainly does. The intentionality very much needed from every single play of ATK. They do better with that clear. They're able to manage it out towards the other side of the court. But Snowy, well, he's back in business.
Yeah, don't give Limitless too much space. I mean, Snowy was able to go so far down that left-hand side there, uninterrupted, and of course just a pass there, finding to die for as well. Beating Willie on that corner, the nice little ceiling pass as well, gets it down, finds the dunk. That's just way too much kind of given towards the side of Limitless here. You thought they'd be contested, you know, you thought Willie would be able to get up in his face even before he went up that corner. I think just, yeah, so much being almost given here to Limitless that's allowing them to run rampant on this game.
Yeah, that last play was one of the more disheartening approaches I've seen from ATK, in which kind of every player just stopped, and it must have been a level of miscommunication or something, because there was no contest towards that goal. In this position, Galaxy just can't keep up with the placement of To Die For. I mean, I'm getting to the point where I can't even analyze each goal, because another one is just right in the net again. It's tough, but, you know, this is the case right now of SSA. This is the case of Limitless, where the way that they've been able to improve, the way that they've been able to set the benchmark of this region is like no other, and nothing's going to stop that advancement of this team.
Yeah, we saw Red Crown Esports yesterday as well, able to get a goal against Limitless, able to push them to an overtime as well, but then at the end of it, they're not able to win one against this team here. And so they are just the heavy hitters, and they are able just to, you know, get on the field and do such dangerous things here in the sub-Saharan African region here, as we see ATK with a bit of possession right now. Small fumble there from Werty. Can he shove it in? Close. Oh, goes across the face of the goal. They're not able to send it home. Willie as well with the controller, but To Die For are going to pop it up. Werty takes the shot. There it is. They find a second for ATK.
Attitude to a team that just will not give up there. Weeloo sticks around the ball for a favorable 50, and Werty knows that this duo has to shine once again, as they have many times before, the duo of Weeloo and Werty. So he's there to collect on what 50 that Weeloo can manage, and they're able to find a second goal here. Galaxy, seen him reset before, but that one not enacted. Weeloo trying to take this across the width of the field, avoids the demolition and sticks right behind that ball, but runs out of resources. So Can't keep up with that ball. Darth, that's going to be an uncharacteristic miss there, but Snowy so quick to advance towards the ball. Oh boy, 2 defenders beat, but they do the job of limiting another goal from Limitless.
Yeah, Willu has to do a lot of stalling there as well, just to make sure that he's in the right place to stop Snowy's, onslaught. But of course, I got pushed out to the corner as well. Willu does take the shot there again. Can it come in? Ooh, just goes narrowly there onto the crossbar. And ATK void of their 3rd goal. Werty still holding this one on, finds the ceiling. Can it bring it down? Yeah, Snowy, that's gonna go quite wide. Galaxy is there waiting patiently. Oh, the beautiful save and read from him. Werty, left-hand side here to Darth, picks it up. Can you find a man in the midfield? Weevu saves it. One bump though as well from to die for. Snowy out to Darth. Darth takes a shot. Oh, there it is. Pyro J.
Clinical. And this is one of the things I love seeing from Darth, is the power behind his shots. And obviously the placement as well is just mystifying in some ways. But it's an incredible chance there that they take. And ATK, it appears as if this is the final minute of this regional that they'll be able to play, as Limitless are well on their way to a sweep here. And you know what, Muzz? Whether this is a goal or not here, I will say here for ATK, they've done their job. You know, in this regional, we had a lot of questions for this team with the exit of Gizu and the entry now of their substitute Galaxy. If this was the right insertion for this roster. And for this team, I think to be able to get to a top 4 situation helps them in terms of points to stick around the top of the rankings of SSA, and help them continue to be in the conversation as to who's going to take that number 2 spot and represent SSA at Worlds.
Yeah, much needed points getting picked up when you are a semi-finalist like ATK as well. And, of course, this is only the Winter Open right now. Still 2 more to come. Oh, just opportunities coming in here. Can they just send this one in? My goodness, shots there from both Galaxy and Wheeler, though, not able. Double hat-trick as well coming up from To Die For, in case no one noticed. So he's got a casual 6 goals to his name right now off of 9 shots. That's kind of how dangerous we've seen here from this limited side. There, Snowy makes the save from Werty as well. Clock is ticking down. Yeah, Pirate J, and seems to be that Limitless will comfortably go through to our grand finals.
Will indeed. Not the best showing here from ATK. They're going to have to wipe this off and consider everything they can to come back stronger next regional. But top 4 appearance from them certainly is still a good thing for them. There you go, folks. Limitless officially do find themselves with the victory in the semifinals. They will be the team to contend against the Orlando Pirates in the regional finals of this Winter Open for RLCS SSA. Congratulations to Limitless on their win.
Yeah, now they face against an old foe in Orlando Pirates, Pirate Jan. I think, we know that the team there of Cams, Happy Meal, Andy Lycom have been watching this. They're analyzing, they know what they want to fix. They've got Zebra, the coach there in the UK, saying, guys, this are the places we need to hit. This is what we got to do. And, this is a grand final. It's always the grand final that shakes the stadiums.
It is indeed. Altruism, let's hear from you about what you thought about that match. It looks like our prediction of Limitless did come through.
I mean, no surprises there, right? But it is always very interesting to see just how cleanly it came through again. Once more, Limitless managing to pick up the complete sweep. That is 17 games in a row Limitless has been able to take just this weekend, excluding what they managed to tack on at the end of last one. I think they got 1 or 2 more there. So looking for that 20 in a row streak, roughly. We're going to have to get some stats people on that after the split. But what a showing for them, really starting to dominate and decimate their opponents, because it's not just like 1-2, 1-3 victories. There are massive score lines in there. This team having the highest number of shots per game, and got to be said now, the highest number of goals per game. Pyro J, you're going to be leaving us at the end of this right now. So I want to hear, Limitless, talking as an international caster right now, how are we actually starting to match up, do you think, against those big international teams?
I would consider it in this perspective, Altruism. Look at what happened in APAC today, right? You have a team that, in conjunction with Rlcs, two kind of outsiders to the region, coming in and just taking the cake, taking everything they want from that region. But today we finally had a team of Detonator defeat them. I think what you need to look at right now is if there is like an outsider top baller team that comes into SSA, is Limitless geared to take them on and be the Detonator, or better to still be the top of SSA? That is continually the benchmark that I think we need to consider when we watch Limitless on the field every single event. And they take that role very seriously to be the top of this region. So the question is, do they stack up against that? I think we're seeing improvement. I think we're seeing the road to get there. And that is very much in the minds of Limitless. But sometimes altruism, you can't really tell until you actually see them play against those teams. So it's a great showing again from Limitless, and I'm excited to see what they can achieve in the finals.
Very, very exciting to see what they can do in the finals and going forwards from that. I mean, we're looking at, you talk about how they're going to match up against those big teams. Muzz, I want to hear from you. Having looked at this now, how much stronger do you think ATK is from last year? And then how much stronger is Limitless against teams like that? Because there's no doubt about it. ATK has been looking stronger and stronger, as have many of the SSA teams in general. But Limitless have streaked ahead of them. So how is there this, like, what sort of deficit is there really?
I think if teams are scrimming, guys like Orlando Pirates, Limitless, your ATK's White Rabbit Gamers, then we look at that fifth to kind of eighth place getting much stronger. But that disparity between Limitless and the rest of the pack is just growing so wide. The Altruism, you can't slow them down right now. So even if you're practicing against them, even if you have that iron sharpening iron, it just seems to be a case of how do you stop this juggernaut when it gets running at you, right? So everyone else is getting stronger, and we're looking at so much competition. And you spoke about those challenges yesterday to the second place behind Orlando Pirates, but hell, there's about 30-point difference there between OP and then Limitless, right? So they're sitting very comfortably on top of the throne, and everyone else is just fighting there for the steps.
Okay, Pyro, your last comments, your final thoughts over this whole weekend. You're now not going to get to say anything more. So besides slamming any of your co-casters for apparently sitting on the fence, what last wisdom do you have to share about what you're thinking of this SSA scene?
I had to hit you with that altruism. You knew that I did. I'm very impressed with between the off season and now with a lot of these teams. I love the fact that we had a group of a true group of death, that there were that many questions as to who would rise to the occasion. Shout out to Team Fusion for putting in work over there. But still, we have some very similar storylines of Limitless. And I feel like I'm the barrier between now and getting to that finals. So I'm just amped up for this championship. I want to see it. I'm hungry for it. So let's get to it.
Oh, very excited. You're right. Let's get to that as fast as possible, guys. We're going to take a very short break. When we come back, Muzz still going to be hanging around, and we welcome the wonderful Greybeard. Who else to help me bring in the finals there? Limitless versus Orlando Pirates. A tale as old as time, a rivalry set in stone, and probably the biggest clash we could have ever hoped for in SSA this halfway through this RLCS season. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, we'll see you in just a little bit.
We are back for the final time of the Winter Open, our second split of the 22-23 season. I'm thrilled to be back in the chair, Greybeard, Ultrism, moving into the caster's seat, and then Muzz coming up for a little bit of analysis. Gentlemen, we've had a fantastic weekend, and it all comes down to this, Championship Sunday, and would you believe these six players, Eli Kim, the only real new addition to these six players contesting a final. It used to be Orlando Pirates Bravado, now it's Orlando Pirates Limitless. But man, oh man, Muzz, it's been a good weekend for both these teams to be where they are.
Yeah, I mean, 100%, right? You know, they are showing us that they are just the top of the SSA leaderboard. Yeah, you know, we're speaking a little there in the green room about, you know, how these guys are doing climbing towards that wild card and, you know, who's kind of making a breakaway. And well, Orlando Pirates, they're also making their own breakaway, right? I think we've got ATK just behind them by a little bit. Of course, they took the loss down that semi-final. And so, you know, that's good for Orlando Pirates. You want to make these finals. You want to try to get as much as you can when it goes towards making that wild card slot overseas. And now it just comes down to a best of 7 and who can, get the most goals in the back of the net, I guess. Yeah, Ryan, easier said than done, but...
Well, Ultrism, I mean, I think it's been an important weekend for Orlando Pirates because they were disappointed with their showing in the first split. Coming first, getting to a grand final only once and then third, fourth in the remaining 2. And with so many teams chasing them down, there were 3 points between them and Nexa at the start of the split. And now they've jumped 10 points ahead. They've got some breathing room. And yeah, there's things they've got to improve, but very important showing for them this split, this regional.
Huge. Considering this was the big rivalry that you talked about, that this is the grand finals that we are so used to seeing, it has not been that way. Not the whole year at this stage. It's certainly not a preordained situation that this is how it's going to end up right now. Orlando Pirates even having to, so far, haven't really been challenged, at least this brackets, and that is good to me. That means that they're really showing themselves ahead of so many oppositions and back to where they want to be in that very firm second position. They're not worried about getting to first yet, but they at least want to be comfortably second, and that's great for them. They're back to this. They've got themselves a bit of a cushion, and now they're ready to set themselves up for that, really what it takes to challenge number 1 instead of worrying about the guys chasing behind them.
All right, so we are grand final time. In the chat, the vote is open. Hashtag OP, hashtag LMT. Let's have your predictions on where this is going to go. I want to throw out an important stat here. First of all, in terms of goals, Orlando Pirates and Limitless, goal difference for Orlando Pirates in this regional has been 32 in terms of how many they scored, how many conceded. Limitless, 65. That is their goal difference. They are annihilating here. 17 games without a loss. Orlando Pirates 17-4. I do know this. Limitless are going to be furious with that ATK performance because they conceded 2 goals in the last game. It could have been a perfect sweep. They didn't get that. This is the level they're looking at. It's not about winning this next game or the series or the semis or the final. It's we cannot give anything away. We want to make world championships through wildcard. We have to be, it can't just be about winning, and everyone else is looking at winning. And I think that's what is taking them. Having said all of that, Alt, you and I were on a cast, Regional 1, where Bravado beat the Orlando Pirates then. And I said there will come a time to bet against Orlando Pirates, but it's not today. Is this the day to bet against Limitless? I'm not entirely sure. Muzz, your prediction, please.
It won't be great, but it's going to be Limitless, that's for sure.
All right, simple as that. Ultrism.
I think that if there is going to be Orlando Pirates taking it, it's going to be today. And so this is it. This is my wild shot in the dark. I think Orlando Pirates, now take it. Guys, this is your one shot if you're going to do it.
Wow.
Please,
finally,
Alt, that surprises me. Okay, the question for me is, can Limitless finish this undefeated? Can they do it in a sweep? They will win it, but I don't know if they'll do it in a sweep. Okay, Muzz, thank you very much. Casting this one is going to be me and Ultrazim. Let's go, Commandos. It's howling time. The grand final of the Winter Open. I can't believe, you know what? We wait so long, 11 weeks to get here, and bang, it's done. We're in the final. In 45 minutes or so, it's going to be behind us.
I don't care, man. This whole weekend has been the build-up. It has been paying off for that 11 weeks. It has been so worth the wait so far to get to see the level that these guys have gotten to get to see the mechanics that they're starting to pull off, to see the new teams really starting to show their way. And we get to see it now culminate with the two teams, the classic two teams, Orlando Pirates and Limitless.
And away they go. It is all happening here, and the final, this is it. And I don't know if nerves are going to be a factor early on, if there's going to be a little bit of attention. I think more so on the Orlando Pirates side than it will be from the Limitless side, because Pirates know the task they had ahead of them. Cam's having an opportunity. Darth gets in front and will get it away. So if Orlando Pirates have a chance here, they've got to deal with any anxiety and nerves pretty chop and very quickly.
Yeah, but they've got the big match temperament, right? They've done this how many times before? This is not a new fight for them. The only thing that's really different is how well this Limitless side is doing. I don't think there's ever been this much of a deficit between the two teams. Oh, that little bump. Oh, that little bump to start it off. Really, that's how we're going to secure Snowy. The first goal is Darth coming from the side. Assassinating Eliakim. What a way to start it off for Limitless.
It is even more savage in the replay than it was live. I mean, Darth coming out of the Orlando Pirates corner. He knew exactly what was what. I mean, what a play. I mean, devastating play. And wow, great start here. Limitless up early on. And they want to press advantage and to continue. Oh, there might be a second here, but Snowy's shot is glanced away. Can we completely decimate our opposition? Because it's hard for them. There might be a return here. No, it's going to be cleared away. It's hard for them to keep improving without the benefit of boot camps and all of that. So they've got to just look at those tiny margins that can take them a little bit further.
And I think Snowy, the shot, it's there. Somehow Orlando Pirates, before we get into any sort of analysis, Eliakim slows it down the center, pops it out. They kind of put Snowy into a difficult position, maybe just harassed a little bit, but Cam's following so quickly behind it, manages to get Orlando Pirates back on. And I think that could put a thorn in the side here of Limitless.
Yeah, that's going to be, that's a key one for settling Orlando Pirates, because they're like, okay, boys, we can get in this. I mean, ATK took nearly 4.5 games to find a goal against Limitless. Orlando Pirates have done it here within 2 minutes, so that's something they got going for them. Now they just got to carry it on.
Eliakim has to make an important save now, challenged by Snowy. Still, Happy Meal now clashing it out. Cam's quick reactions to stop that rolling towards the goals and becoming more dangerous. And I think that's a big thing against this Limitless side. It can't go anywhere near your goals. A backboard, a corner, it's going to be dangerous at any stage, and you cannot put it down to a single person to make them the save. Meanwhile, To Die For just says anywhere near your goals is good enough for me. Manages to pick this up there. Happy Meal, not even a bad clear there, but the impossible angle that To Die For is managing to find at 86 k's an hour.
And you know what? He's the man of the angles, because against ATK, we saw a couple of those angled shots. It is unbelievable. Darthia coming off the kickoff. Maybe something to happen there. Nice clear, important clear, but To Die For going to pick it up in the midfield. And Orlando Pirates do very well when they apply that sort of suffocating pressure. We saw them do it yesterday against WRG. But doing it against Limitless, a different kettle of bananas. I mean, because Limitless are doing exactly the same, and they're just so quick.
That's a big thing, right? Is we even saw it yesterday. Even when Orlando Pirates won their game, they had to do it over a long period of attrition there. They had to wear out their opponents. They had to have shot after shot. You're not going to get that against Limitless. They are going to be looking to make an incredible clear every time. This one drops down there like him, just not in rotation to be able to get back for that extra little shot. Eventually To Die For just turns us straight back down to the other side of the field, and the pressure's instantly gone.
Yeah, but what's good to see from Orlando Pirates is that they are getting opportunity. They are managing to find a way to look to build pressure on the other side. They're going toe-to-toe here with Limitless. They're not allowing themselves to be just ridden over, similar to how ATK were, you know, and in that series, ATK were kind of toe-to-toe for about a minute 20, and then it was just chaos on their goal line. Yeah, Orlando Pirates keeping it with 1 goal with just over a minute left.
I like him there, pushed up very high. And he's got to, though. You've got to. Most of the time, against most teams, you can't afford to group up like this. But it almost feels like this Orlando Pirates side just wants to get so close to each other because they need to be there for the quickest reaction, the quickest little follow-up that they can. And so they're trying to really stretch their limits against this other side. Meanwhile, somehow, it's still just a single goal in it between these two teams. The Orlando Pirates still well within the ability to take this game.
Ooh.
But we do know that Limitless, with any lead, just wants to make it further.
Yeah, and it comes down to, remember, when this Limitless team were Orlando Pirates, we used to talk about the fact that they so rarely made mistakes that when you do, you have to punish. And we saw a little bit of a one there in front of their goal. They get away with it. Oh, Snowy shot bottom left corner, but Cams was there. Cams was ready. And still only 1 goal in it, and it can change very quickly, but it's got to get out of their own half. Cam's going to send it long. It should be picked up easily by To Die For, and I think he's just going to run out clock here. And is he? Oh, gets the dunk. It's off, and they might still get it. Cams will clear it. Clockers run. I'm not sure they can keep it up. Eli tries. Darth, though, not looking to kill it immediately. Okay, To Die For's had enough of that fun and games. Put it to the ground. Take game number 1. Yeah, listen, it's a 1-goal game. We haven't seen a lot of that from Limitless recently, but it's a win.
Yep, 100%. I mean, we have gone to one other team has taken Limitless to an actual overtime. Pirates, as close as possible. Certainly the closest that we've seen Limitless push today. And I don't know if that's a sign of things to come. It might just be Limitless going, okay, these guys are a little bit better than everyone else, so we've had to push our way through so far. But they did enough. 9 shots in total from Limitless compared to 3 from Pirates. Tripling up that shot count is maybe a sign that Limitless is still feeling comfortable. They still feel in control of this game. And while it was a great shot from Pirates to be able to send that in, not too many other massive opportunities for themselves that they just let go awry.
Yeah, and Cam's doing a lot of work for Pirates there. The goal, 3 saves, 3 shots, kind of outdoing everybody on points. And yeah, I think with that work rate, everyone else on Pirates going to have to get involved with that.
Yeah, there's no way any single player carries it against this Limitless side. Thankfully, we did say it, and I think it was Pyro, or I think it was maybe Muzz, actually, who said earlier, the fact that Pirates is one of those teams that has 3 exceptional players. All of them can do their work, and they've all talked about how they've been working on individual things that they need to. If those 3 people can come together and use their individual strengths, they could push this.
Well, that's what's going to be. You sort of, for Orlando Pirates, they've almost got to be, okay, what's our best, and how do we step it up another 5-10% at least? And yeah, they've got to have a great day all round, and Limitless going to have to slip up a little bit here. And it's not to write the obituary, the story here. It is very possible. We saw this last season where we backed that old Orlando Pirates team every single regional, and then eventually we were wrong because the Bravado team, Happy Meal, Cams, they slowly inched up, and it's going to be the first goal from Darth as I'm waffling on 19 seconds in. Look at that touch from Snowy to bring it around. Eli doesn't get a great clear, and Darth scoops it up and sends it home.
I've actually seen that play a couple of times from Snowy. He puts it into the corner to make it awkward for the defenders, and then he chases the angle around the side, either getting in the way, getting a bump, getting an extra little touch, and making the defender do a little bit more work than they're comfortable, meaning that they don't get the clear out. And eventually someone's just waiting in the center so quickly to put in a devastatingly good shot. Good angle there, good pass. Cam's just unable to get onto the side of that, meaning Limitless still keep their 1-goal lead. But 1 goal is so far all that they've needed, and it is still technically a victory, a lead at this stage. It's up to Orlando Pirates to do all the work to bring it back. And so far, a little bit of consternation in the center, not being able to make that way down the field just yet.
All right, Snowy, pancaking that ball against the wall and keeps the pressure on for Orlando Pirates. Eli toward the net. Snowy gets there. Darth had him backed up. Is that a double commit, or were they just backing each other up? Either way, it works out, and they're back over on the Orlando Pirates side trying to make something happen. Great 50 from Cams, but they are still defending.
Yeah, good shot, but again, it doesn't matter if it's the double commit if you make it work. Now, just the shadow defense comes out to die for, helping out Darth a little bit. Darth without any more on this. A little bit of a hard touch from Happy Meal, sends it into the hands, and two people up, instantly rectified though, coming out there. Darth waiting in the center patiently, meanwhile to die for, just going for a little bit of a demo play, aggression. Look at how cleanly someone like Darth picks it up. This is bad. That was a double commit. That was actually a little bit of a clash in the center. It pops up. Darth trying to alleviate some pressure with that assassination. Snowy, not a great touch, but it's past Happy Meal. And like him now going to have to work from the back.
I spoke yesterday about how this Limitless team, not huge on their content, but one piece of content I so badly wish they would release is their comms. I would love to know how this goes. Opportunity for Orlando Pirates is cleared away by Darth. Because I so badly want to know how they communicate, how clear they communicate, because it seems very good, but is it?
I certainly don't expect it to be chaotic, but I wonder how much they need to talk to each other, right?
Yes.
Is every part of this a calculated play, or is it just a case of mine, yours, mine,
Yes.
done, go? And then you're just going, these guys are reading each other's minds by the speed that they're able to play together.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, okay, there's been a demo. This opens it up for Orlando Pirates, but Darth reads the play, sees the danger coming in, gets the clear, and now there's a counter. Eli's going to have to get a good touch on it. He does into the corner. But man, Limitless quick to pounce, to die for. Happy Meal, and he will know to die for very well. They were teammates a long time.
no.
There's been a mistake. Darth! Oh, Eli saves. Pirates going down too, my word.
So dangerous, and nearly to die for. Making another one. Snowy's up for this. Decides to put on the side there. Happy Meal jumping out there. In fact, there's a couple of orange players in the air. That means it could come back. Darth assassinating him. Opens up everything. Snowy making the pass to die for there for the finish. Everyone involved with this. And Darth, having looked for the last person there, clears every bit of space there. 2-0 for Limitless.
We spoke about the communications, and I think you're right. I think there's a lot of monosyllabic communication that goes on, but you see it play out on the way. I mean, that whole play happened. Everybody was involved. The demo, the pass, the final clear. Snowy making sure to be out of the way of to die for him to take the shot. It was incredibly effective, incredibly clinical.
Yeah, 100%. And it's something that Orlando Pirates maybe not being able to get to just yet. They have been putting in a couple of double touches, a couple of double commits. Happy Meal trying to build something from the corner now. He's got a couple of people around him. I like him driving all the way back. Going to be able to pick this up and re-engage here. Happy Meal waiting up high. Sniffle's up early. Doesn't have a lot of boost, but manages to find Snowy cut off before it clears out far. And Cam's looking for Happy Meal in the center, and Happy Meal just not there. He was there, but he didn't get the touch. And I mean, against Limitless, you've got to take every one of those.
Yeah, you know, and we often say losing the first game in a best of 7, not critical. Even the second one is not the end of the world. But you start to feel going 2 behind to Limitless, I think already starts to feel a little suffocating.
Yeah, 100%. Every time you don't make it work. Every time you try so hard, put in so much effort, endure so much pressure from them, and you still fighting it out. And then they start putting in combos like this. They start chaining it together to die for there, just to Naya, but certainly base it out the 2 defenders. It just becomes so much harder. It's up to Orlando Pirates to use their experience behind them to just keep their heads.
And I think what I'm enjoying a lot here is how quick they are without being rushed. You know, I can be quick sometimes, but it's all a chaotic rush, and I'm hanging on by my fingernails. These guys are so quick, but it's not rushed. They're not panicking. They're not. It's great to see, and here they are. That's a shutout for Orlando Pirates, not being able to score in game 2. And look at that, they're in the lobby here, readying up, keen to get going. But another solid Limitless performance.
10 shots here from Limitless, and much closer margin, 7 from Pirates. So it did feel a little bit closer, but it didn't feel close. It didn't really feel close. Like Limitless was still taking on some big shots. There were still a couple of those that I was like, if that didn't go wide. That was in. Pirates had lost control of the play at that stage, still trying to make their own plays across. And with another 5 saves being forced out by a like him, the pressure is all on. That's the same as the entire Limitless roster combined. The pressure from Pirates has to turn the other way.
Yeah, well, this is their time now, right? I mean, it's kind of where I spoke about like a 2-game deficit to Limitless might feel a little suffocating, and yeah, they've got the time. You feel like this game 3 is pivotal. They've got to turn things around here. Take a game now. And try and fight your way in it there. And it isn't a runaway. It's not like what we saw. You know, the ATK game became a little bit difficult to cast. You know, just because it's like, wow, it's like such a runaway train and so one-sided. It isn't that one-sided here, not by a long shot. And for long periods, Orlando Pirates are going toe-to-toe. But it is that additional 5-10% they've got to find somewhere.
Yeah. Certainly, you mentioned the speed of these teams. It seems like Orlando Pirates being the only team to really be able to keep up with the pace so far. One of the things you talk about is sometimes it just looks chaotic when you get to that pace. Your mechanics start suffering, you start missing the balls, and that might be what we're seeing a little bit of Orlando Pirates. And then those little bit of polish is just not there, and that's what Limitless is taking advantage of. But still, the pace seems to be there. They're reading the players. They're up to the saves. They know what they want to do, but the bomb there just stops it out there. Happy Meal unable to come back. And I don't know if this was a calculated play by Limitless. I like him getting dispossessed there. And I think Cams was trying to make the interception. Not sure if it would have got there. But either way, Limitless pick up one more goal.
The number of times I've seen a ball heading toward the net and to die for is always near the ball, looking, you know, he's there for the insurance, but it always looks like he's like, okay, I'm going to try and steal this if it comes. But I think it is just a consequence of their play. Is like he's up there, it's heading to net. I'm just here to bump someone out the way or to put in the little tapped redirect or shoot and make sure the goal happens. Either way, it is a goal for Limitless inside the first minute. Orlando Pirates once more chasing the game. Haven't scored a goal since the first game, but they've come close. The games have been, it has been 1-goal games for the most part. It's been close at the very least.
Good communication coming out there. Cam's doing the rotation around. Happy Meal has work to do. He doesn't just need to make this first touch. He needs to get in the way. Gets a decent 50 against Snowy and putting pressure now on to die for. But without the boost, he cannot challenge him up the air. And instead, I like him now. Going to pay with his life dart. Trying to find it back towards the center. But nothing about this from Limitless Rush. Nothing rushed the whole way through there. They don't have a clear shot. They just put it towards the corner. Dart's like, I've still got possession. I'm going to find the next person coming in. Slows it down, waits for Snowy to make the rotation. And Snowy there with the perfect shot in the perfect place.
The entire team assist play there and the mechanical work from Darth to touch it to the corner and turn around and tap it in for the pass to Snowy. Remarkable stuff. 2-goal lead now. Inside the first 2 minutes. Maybe something here. Cam's trying to get by. He gets it in. And man, Cams remains a soldier for this OP side. But the work there from Eli for the pass before he's eliminated. Lovely stuff.
Amazing. That is what it takes to score a really good goal, a decimating goal against Limitless there. Being able to combo that pass up to Alaikum turning around, dropping it back down, pushing it just that little bit further out of the reach of the Limitless players. And it seems like we have a revitalized Orlando Pirates side. They've got people jumping for this. They've got this back to a 1-goal game, and there's still 3 minutes left. They need to turn it around. This is the pivotal game number 3 that you're talking about.
And they had a good look at a kickoff goal. Eli there sort of having to really snatch at his shot, putting it wide, but that would have been beautiful. But they got to put that behind them and look to manufacture their opportunities. And since the kickoff, after scoring that 1 goal, has done very well. They've looked more threatening than we've seen for a lot of the play. And this is good to see. The pressure continues to die for, to Snowy.
Oh, no.
Snowy! Oh, my goodness gracious! Okay, that's not even a counter-attack. That's a 1-2 punch from the floor and done!
Disgusting. Happy Meal had to come up there. He saw his teammates doing something, and he was so tempted to jump up for that, and he made the defensive play. He's like, I can't afford to go for this because they are going to, if I don't get it perfectly, there's going to be a counterattack. Meanwhile, the counterattack was there before he even had the choice in the matter. managed to get it around Happy Meal, who was waiting in the center with the defensive mindset, completely removed it. 1-2 touch, pass, finish, done. 2-goal lead here for Limitless.
I didn't even see Snowy waiting out there. Live as it happened, it looked to me like To Die For was just trying to make just a touch. Let's get it away from the net. But man, it was a perfect pass, and that banger of a finish from that long distance, fantastic stuff. It's back to a 2-goal lead. Limitless in front. To Die For going for the bump. Happy Meal waits him out. It's in front, but they've weathered the attack. Orlando Pirates were looking good in attack, in building their pressure, but it's been undone now.
You know, one of my favorite things about that, just waiting on Cams. Cams gets a good flick. Really has to test To Die For on that one. Cams just with side control. And suddenly the pace that Limitless is getting from the center field right now. To Die For, doing all the work, getting that save, and it just ricochets off Happy Meal's bonnet. Speeds it up that last little bit to careen it back down to the orange goals.
Wow, a 3-goal lead now. Now it's starting to feel like a bit of a runaway in game 3. Almost a kickoff goal. Cam's there to save the action, and you feel, okay, after this, Ultrazim, they lose this. It's 3 down. Best of 7 reverses are hard in this circumstances. Maybe a little harder.
You've known me for a long time, friend. You know that I'm the absolute dreamer. I mean, hell, I even put the prediction in that today was the day Orlando Pirates was going to take this. But I think even my poor battered heart right now doesn't have the confidence to give that back to Orlando Pirates, considering, I mean, they've been doing well. They've been getting close in some of these games more than others. But right now, the double demolition squad coming in there to try and put insult to injury, and it eventually pays off one more time.
Yeah, look, I think to be fair to Orlando Pirates, I do think they've been the closest to Limitless from the games we've seen, and we didn't get to see any of the group matches, or so it's hard to tell from that. Red Crown managed to score against them in every game, so there was that, but they never looked threatening. Where Pirates here against Limitless have had their moments of looking like a team that can threaten Limitless, but they haven't been sustained periods of time.
No. And that's it. That's what Orlando Pirates needs. It's how they win their game. We mentioned it earlier, but there has been no build-up of pressure. It's been 50s, it's been passes, it's been such a big arsenal coming out here. Even Happy Meal getting taken out. And it's been an impressive number of demolitions. I don't know if that's a key demographic of this Limitless side, but it's certainly working at key moments.
Well, it's worked a charm. Clock is down. It's the... We've spoken about how close these games have been. This one wasn't close, certainly not in the scoreline. 5-1, a proper dominating win here by Limitless. And the Limitless freight train just keeps barreling.
Very interested. In fact, noted, before we even finish that game, Cam says timeout. Pirates taking the time now just to regather themselves. They're going, we're doing it. We're doing what we know. And I think that's good. They're doing what they know, but it's not enough. It's just not even close to enough in a game like this where they get it completely dispossessed from them. And so Pirates feeling like they have lost control of the game just a little bit. What do we say to them? What do they say to each other to try to do this right now?
Well, you spoke about the demos toward the end of that game, and the demo stat is quite clear. Eight Limitless demos in that game, 1 by Orlando Pirates. So very physical, devastatingly physical from Limitless. And I think, we see it a lot in any sport when you are playing a team that is a little bit better than you or faster than you or seems to have the edge on you. The temptation is to try and match their game. Yeah. And that's often the mistake. You're playing right into their hands. And who knows what they're going to talk about. Eli did speak about their timeout in the last series, and it was, are we going to lose? Are we going to lose playing badly or lose playing well? And I think for me, get back to what works well for you. Make Limitless play to you rather than the other way around. Easier said than done. I realize that, but I think that's kind of got to be the thinking.
Yeah. At this stage, Pirates is a great team. Pirates is a great team. They're second place for a reason, with a bit of a lead on everyone else. They are the second best team in Sub-Saharan Africa right now. play them at their best, play your game strategies like you say, and bring it back. I think even if it's just to take one game off Limitless, deny them the perfect sweep of the entire regional. That'll be something that annoys the snot out of the Limitless players. But I think Pirates could be happy to do that right now. They know that they've got work to do, and they've done so much work to get to this point. But they've got a lot in them still, and I believe that this could change their mindset enough.
Yeah, well, look, they did very well after their timeout against in the last series where they against WRG, where they were 2 games down, and then they won it effectively in a sweep from there. They never lost a game after the timeout. So let's see how the timeout stacks up against what seems an almost unstoppable and certainly rampant Limitless side.
Man, that will be the most powerful timeout power in the world if you can bring back the sweep from this point now because of it. But there's still hope. Let's see how Orlando Pirates adapt one game at a time right now. And it starts with a bit of good pressure. Happy Meal sending 2 into the air. Like him and Cams, both waiting on that side of the field. Pops it out. Cams has got a decent shot. Finding a difficult, strained back line. Tested 2 more times. And both of them come out. That is a bad turn, though. Eliakim gives off the possession to Snowy.
You know, years ago, well, I'll say that years ago in Rocket League terms, probably 2 years ago, I think Snowy was like giving me a little bit of tips and advice. And it was specifically in ones. And he said his thing, he is always looking for the goal. And if there is an open net, that is something he focused on and practiced and became really good at. Seeing the goal from anywhere in the field, if it's open, being able and capable to shoot a goal from there. And we've seen him do it twice just in this series.
I mean, wise words from who, I don't know who the current ones champion of SSA is, but I mean, Snowy was there for long enough that this man knows what he's talking about, and he's put it to good practice here and now. To die for, looking for a second one, slowing it down, pops it up pretty high there, coming in once more with Snowy. That's a rare miss. Darth hanging on, needs to commit a little bit further there. Like him now has some space, gets a decent 50 off to die for as well, decides to bang it across the field. Cam's waiting up there, finds it high. Darth somehow still able to get to it and then follow it up to pass it back towards the Snowy.
Oof. Nice little save there, but the follow-up! And it's Darth this time there for the insurance or perhaps the steal. Eli with a good save there, but to die for gets it. And indeed Darth will get the toe in.
I'm now starting to see why Tadafo hangs around there. He's going, if this game is in our hands already, I'm taking my goals back, friends. We work together as a team. And I mean, they do it. They managed to get that second goal. But I mean, Darth did do so much work just to get it back from his side of the field and set that up in the first place that I think everyone from Limitless is going to be happy to be involved with that. Now Tadafo going to be challenged in the corner here. Cams finds it towards the center, but Snowy with full boost tanks gets a nice shot there. It's popped up. Cams has the redirect and somehow clashed across the crossbar and then cleared by Darth. Once more, I like him trying to make it work, but there's always blue players up and ready.
Yeah, this has been good from Orlando Pirates. They've peeled open Limitless a couple of times, and that a goal coming from an extended period of pressure, and on at least 2 occasions prying open the defense where we saw Limitless scrambling because they knew they were out of position. They get caught out here. Pirates, this is better.
Excellent. You know, the first couple of shots are there to really test the defenders, but it's when you can start getting that culmination of so much pressure being put together. It's been one of the first times we've seen Limitless suffer that from any team, and who better than Orlando Pirates to build that up. They get the 1-goal lead back. Happy Meal, in fact, gonna try the strategy we're talking about. Snowy knows never to leave that goal open. It is cut down there. I like him now trying to build up more pressure that worked so well for them in the past.
This is very good because they've continued after scoring that goal. Yeah. They've kept themselves over in the Limitless side. Although Darth has undone Eli, they might suffer here. But what a great 50 from Happy! And this is a goal-scoring opportunity. But Snowy just gets it past the patrolling Eli, who is looking for a shot. And now maybe a counter, but Cams with the touch away.
These guys are so patient on their defense. I mean, Snowy there, that was a goal-scoring opportunity, like you say. And he just waits for it, thinks about it. Happy Meal now going up with some mechanical skills. Tries to get under the To Die For. He did get the flip reset, but To Die For doesn't just get it across the field, even puts it on target there to make sure that the pressure builds up the other way. Now, Snowy looking for the center. To Die For sent it the wrong way. I like him chasing this. You can imagine the rest of Orlando Pirates going to be close behind this. Turned aside by Snowy. Happy Meal trying to reset it. To Die For's missed this in the center. Happy Meal not able to get to it. Now it bounces once more to Die For. And Limitless decide to just slow it down before this becomes too dangerous.
I wonder if this is the classic game 4 for the sweep, where the team that's 3 games up kind of takes their eye off the ball a little bit, goes into cruise mode. Because yeah, it's been a little uncharacteristic, and I don't want to be too unfair to Orlando Pirates. They took the timeout, and they have certainly played far better. But perhaps a combo. Yeah, there's going to be a goal. Great pass from Cams. Great finish from Happy Meal.
Oh, I love it. Cams picks this up, and this is what I've been talking about the whole weekend. This out of the corner, whether you have to smash it back there or just find a good touch, someone waiting in the center. If you're first man, get it towards the center. Have some faith in your teammates and give it the best shot you possibly can. Gets it past the 2 defenders, and it's like you say, this looks like a renewed Orlando Pirates side.
All right, well, they're in it
Oh,
now.
no!
Okay. All right, so not for the first time I've been made to look an idiot. Orlando Pirates right back in it, but Snowy off the kickoff, bringing it all the way around and befuddling and undoing the entire OP defense there. Back to a 1-goal lead.
Man, most players you have to worry about what they can do when they're in front of your goals. But Snowy's that one player that I'm terrified of what he does, even when he's trapped in my corner on 0 boost. He'll still find a way to curve it around. It's a nice challenge from Cams now to pop it up towards the center, and the rest of Orlando Pirates have kind of committed to that attack, and so a little bit of work to do on the defense. Cams so high in the air, Snowy deciding to beat him on the wall. I like him. Now with a little bit of space, can he get a flick? He gets the shot, he gets the power, he gets the placement, and a deserved goal.
Well, Eli spent a lot of times in 1v1s himself, and To Die For no mug with 1v1s, but Eli getting the best of that little 1v1 interaction, sliding it past, wide angle, bottom left, back to a tied game. Orlando Pirates' best game so far.
I think this is one of the first time, if not the first time. I'm not sure of every scoreline that Orlando Pirates has suffered, but I don't know if they've been challenged by 3 goals by such a proficient team by now. And certainly with 19 seconds left, Happy Meal wants to make it happen. He hands off to Cams. Good interaction between the 2 of them in the center. I like him, has some space to work it back towards it. Snowy gonna send it high. I think Orlando Pirates would be happy to take this to a overtime, but if they can clinch it out now, they would be as ecstatic as possible. One more shot. Snowy trying to get it out. Happy Meal decides to let it drop. We have an overtime.
Overtime! And let's go. This is a regional defining moment. Orlando Pirates fighting for their regional life, their tournament life, to die for, going for the series win. He gets it with a double, and it's done 11 seconds into overtime. Limitless take back to back to back to back regionals, this time completely undefeated.
17, 18, 19, up to 21 games in a row. Limitless, untouchable by anyone in this region. They managed to clinch it out. Orlando Pirates looking to maybe be the one team to take something off them at the end there, taking it all the way to an overtime, looking so good. But eventually we have to crown Limitless as our Winter Open champions.
That was, I mean, look, they are the best team.
Yes.
And they have been, even with the 3 regional losses last season over the 9, they were by undisputed kings of this region. This season, I mean, they've taken it a step under. The addition, I mean, what a scoop to get To Die For onto that team. And what for me is devastating is we know the determination of Snowy. Darth could probably be the best player in the country if he was as ambitious as Snowy is. Darth is like really good, and he will do as much work as he needs to be as good as he is. He could be better. To Die For is naturally gifted at so many things. Rocket League is just one of the things he does well. Imagine he mained Rocket League now, like in a serious way. Yeah. It's frightening. This is a team that could get us into the World Championships.
100%. You mentioned Tadafo's natural talent. Let's not forget, if you guys don't know the scene, this kid is 18 years old. Right, I'm not right.
Yeah.
It's 18, I think, right now. It may be off by a month or two. But that's ridiculous. This kid is 18 years old. We don't retire in Rocket League until, maybe late 20s. He has all the potential to become one of certainly the country's greatest players, but potentially even the world right now. He could go overseas and start making a name for himself. He could get picked up by one of the top organizations, and that would be devastatingly heartbreaking for SSA. But I want to see what the fact that someone like that could represent us in any stage on the world is fantastic. And the people he's getting to learn and grow with, Darth, Snowy, the people that we've started to get to train these teams, the experiences that they're getting overseas, Limitless has been the best breeding ground for all of these players. And I cannot wait to see, because I certainly don't think that they've reached their peak yet.
All right, and Muzz, you've been watching the action there, bro. Your thoughts as the outsider in this?
The hell happened there? So they didn't drop an entire game throughout the whole entire Winter Open right now. You opened with a little bit of stats there previously before we started this game. I'm gonna hit you up with some fast numbers now.
Yes.
Limitless only conceded 21 goals the entire weekend. Weekend, let that sink in. Only 21 went in when they had the perfect run and the perfect regional here of the Winter Open.
That's a goal per game. That's one per game. That's it.
About roughly, yeah. Maybe 1 point odd, I think, when you look at the stats later.
Yes. So that's a goal difference then. They close on 72. I mean, that is just bizarre. So
that's how incredibly crazy Limitless went this time around, right? And, we've spoken about how good they are, how speedy they are. Noxus is coming, he's helping them out. But, this is Limitless for you, right? OP were going to be the best contenders against them. They, unfortunately, not able to get a game off them. Did go to overtime there at the end. But, of course, Tadafo says he is not messing around. It's a Sunday evening. Some of us still, got to finish our science homework. Who knows? I agree with both of you, though. They are going to be the best champion we can send here to Worlds. I think their growth has been superb. They, I think against an APAC team, I would love to see what a scrum like that would look like. Give us James Cheese, give us Detonators, even Gaming Gladiators. Can we put up serious numbers against an APAC North team? I think that's going to be our big benchmark.
All right. Well, just to so to die for Ultrazim is 17. He'll be 18 in June this year.
It's almost.
So even more potential there. And we are in for a treat, because waiting in the wings for an interview is to die for. So as soon as he's ready and we're all ready for him, we're going to go to that and really looking forward to having a chat with him. Because the last conversation I had with him was some time ago, so it's great to see how he's evolved in his thinking and ambition and all that sort of thing. But where it stands now from a points point of view is Limitless is now clear. I think it's 35 or so points clear of second place. And as Mun says, I'm no mathematician, Ultrazim, but that seems like a tough gap to overcome.
It's not a gap you overcome. I don't care how bad you are at maths. No one's catching that right now. I mean, we're at the end of the winter, basically, right now, right? There's not that much more action that's going to happen in the next couple of months now. And so what that means is we just got to think about, we got spring. We got 3 regionals. No one's coming in to take that. And I think that is probably the happiest thing for me, is that our one team is going back to internationals with the reputation that they had previously and so much more, ready to take, I think, a lot of people by surprise.
Well, Muzz, I mean, we're now halfway through, almost halfway through the season.
Yeah.
9 regionals. There are 4 now done, dusted behind us. So by the end of the next regional, so 2 weeks today, we're going to be over halfway. And we have to assume that this is going to be, if Limitless go on to take that one, they extend their lead to 40, 50, who knows how many points. But the story then, Muzz, remains the run for second place, because Orlando Pirates have done fantastically. They've now got at least a 10-point gap. but that's still where the story is.
Yeah, and for me, I think it's going to come down to Orlando Pirates now almost having very faultless rest of the season, because they're only 6 points ahead of the next 3 teams in White Rubber Gaming, ATK and Nixa. So Orlando Pirates can't slip up now anymore, right? They got to keep making the semifinals. They got to almost keep making finals every time, Greybeard, because they cannot allow these other 3 teams behind them to even gain any type of yardage, because that wild card spot is a second place as well from any region. So basically, it's semis and better throughout now, another 3-4 regionals ahead of Pirates, and I wouldn't want to have that type of pressure on my shoulders, and that's why they're the guys that are playing out in that field.
Well, let's talk, and hopefully we'll get some insight from To Die For when we get him in here, and we're just sorting out the technical issues so we can get him into that interview. Is how much are they looking toward? What are they now ready? I mean, you were talking, Muzz, about sort of an APAC team. Could they go toe-to-toe there? And I think they could. But, and Alt, you asked Pyro the question about how close are we getting. But that's what's got to be preoccupying them, right? Altruism is how do they keep... It's not about being the best here. How do we close the gap with version 1, with Space Station Gaming, with Moist Esports? I mean, that's the goal they've got themselves set at.
Long time in the future, probably always starting to aim at someone like Space Station Gaming. But yeah, that is the goal. That's the only way. And when you look at the obsessive nature of someone like Snowy, that is definitely on his mind. He has definitely thought, is like, we need to get there. Not now, but we need to get there eventually, is that the long-term goal. And I think it comes down to the international exposure that these guys are going to get. I'm sure that they're starting to make their plans right now for how they want to boot camp when they go to wildcards, what sort of connections that they can make, maybe try to set something up for after this RLCS, where they're going, okay, we're going to have another couple of months that even after the wildcard, let's try and get back overseas for a month or 2, just boot camp on the big stages with the best teams. There is so much growth that you get when you start exposing yourself to that. And you're right. There's no one here that they're going to be training against. So they may as well look to train as best as they can if they want to take next year even further.
Well, let's hear about it from To Die For himself. We've got a Snowy, an old veteran in these interviews, but this time it is To Die For. Young man, how are you?
Hello. I'm always great. And yourself?
I am fabulous, To Die For. So my opening question is, how much of your conversation with you, Snowy, Darth, is about getting through wildcard? I mean, you guys are performing like your vision isn't winning today's regional. It's like, how are we going to get through wildcard into the main event? How much are you guys thinking and talking about it?
That's pretty much all we talk about. It's obviously our main focus, the bigger picture being obviously to get through wildcard and play World Championship, because obviously last year's results were not very pleasant, so trying to change that. Yeah.
To Die For, my friend, you are 17 years old now. I just got corrected. I thought you were up to 18. And you are considered by many to be the greatest Rocket League player in SSA, potentially the greatest Rocket League player we've ever had, right? How the hell do you go to school on a regular basis? How does this sort of level of accomplishment that you've already accomplished affect your day-to-day life? I'm genuinely interested.
Doesn't really affect it much, because like nobody really knows, because I actually tried to keep it on like the down low.
Only he's sitting in maths class being like, you have no idea the angles I know how to do, guys.
Only like my very close friends know. Like some people, like only like my cousin, my best friend and stuff like that. Just a couple, just a very few. Yeah, that's all. Not many people.
Why? Why though? Please, sorry, Muzz, I'm not letting this one go. Why have you not been like telling everyone? Because I mean, if you were an international sportsman in most of the sports, you'd be telling people you're earning phenomenal money, you're getting to do these overseas trips. At what stage do you think you'll actually start telling people?
I honestly don't know. I just think it would be like almost as if I'm bragging or anything. I just don't like talking about it, to be honest. I really don't know why.
You deserve it.
Far too humble there, Ultras, and far too humble. Okay, right, to die for. So we were kind of obviously thinking amongst ourselves, how are you guys going to perform against Apex sides? And, so let me ask you, as obviously a top performing player, when we look at teams, let's say Elevate, Detonator, Gaming Gladiators, where do you guys think you are compared to these Apex North and Apex South teams? Do you think you can take them on?
That's a tough question because obviously never played them before, and they seem to be doing very well. But honestly, I think we could take them on. We had scrims against some other APAC teams, not Elevate. I think it was Gaming Gladiators. We did pretty well against them, so I think we're fairly confident we can take them down.
Nice.
All right, and then how? It's a question we asked Snowy. I can't remember if it was last season or it was last season. Is you've clearly put some distance in terms of your level of play between yourself and the other teams here. How are you able to do that? What are you doing to be able to do that when you don't have better teams than you that you can easily scrim against?
We just constantly playing together, trying to improve, working on our chemistry, because that's obviously the most important part, playing together as a team. I think that's what you have over everyone, because there's very mechanical players in the scene, but like obviously some of them don't link. So I think that's what you have over a lot of the players in the scene, the connection, because you just train a lot, scrim a lot. So yeah.
Nice.
Okay, going forwards, something that we just mentioned before we jumped here into this chat with you was your personal future. You are young, you have good teammates right now. Sub-Saharan Africa is still capped in a lot of ways for the Rlcs, and it's certainly been an amazing breeding ground for you guys. But is there a chance of potentially the whole roster, or even just you, maybe moving overseas to look at other regions, to spend a little bit of time there and get to grow in a bigger atmosphere? You'll be the smallest fish there for a while, but you can certainly make a big name for yourself.
I mean, you never know. As of right now, there's not any plans for our roster to go overseas or anything. But I'm obviously a student, so maybe go to university in North America and continue playing Rocket League there. But the main goal is obviously to do well at Worlds, and then we can get SSA a major spot, because that's the easiest way to do it. Because Sonics don't seem to be working with us here, so I guess we just have to show them.
Yes.
And then I suppose to that, you'll be able there to play overseas with Noxus as well, and then that'll be such a crack team, I think. Maybe talking about your coach quickly, we had a long 10-11 week break there. What kind of were you guys covered in the off season? What does Noxus help you with? What was he bringing to the table in that long December to make sure that you guys were going to be crazy coming into winter?
We weren't really occupied in the holidays because like Snowy was in England working on his own gameplay, so we were just mainly individual gameplay. Did some replay analysis. Nox is always very good at that, so he's just helping us. When we came back, it wasn't really a lot in holidays, but last couple of weeks when Snowy came back, then we started working replay analysis. That's pretty much it.
Okay, nice.
All right, to die for. Big fat congratulations to all of you. And if you guys win the next regional, we're going to have to see what we can do about getting Darth into the chair for an interview. I think we might have to work very hard to pull that one off. But in the meantime, what an astonishingly good performance. A perfect tournament. Not a single loss. A goal difference of 72. Insane stuff. And all of you, congratulations. Well-deserved win. And good luck in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here, and great casting and hosting from you guys as well. Thank you.
Wow. To die for, making friends along the way.
What a man. What a young man.
So polite, so nice. You can see good
that was great.
there.
We saw a lot more of his ceiling than him, but his insight there was fantastic. He's such a bubbly character. He's a joy to talk to. He's just a guy who seems to enjoy everything he does. Ultrazim. He's like, seems like he's sort of cracked the code of life and figured out how to enjoy the ride.
I need this kid to just come and spend like 2 weeks with me and just like hang out. I feel like that smile would cheer up my day. I mean, this kid has achieved what literally 90% of teenagers would love to do right now, and that's play esports at a highly competitive level, be world class at that. He just doesn't bother telling them. He's probably got friends there being like, bro, I did the most sick thing in Fortnite, and he's like, That's amazing. I support you in your dreams right now. What a kid. What a guy. What a young man. What a future.
And then I was going to ask production. They flashed up the stats for this regional and then took it away. They're astonishing. Reggie, I don't know if can you put those stats back? There you go. Look at this: 97 goals, 247 shots, 70 assists, 77. Where did it go? And then the win rate of 100%. I mean, Muzz, it's madness.
Yeah, I know. Reggie slowed down a bit there, but yeah, no, Ryan, I agree with you. It's absolutely crazy. You know, Tadafo's obviously been far too humble. You know, like throw one special assembly where you guys mentioned it and just talk about his accomplishments. Like, please, the guy's also traveled overseas, mind you, right? He's already kind of seen more places than the rest of us. But I've been excited about this weekend, Ryan. It was pretty good. Teams like Fusion, I mean, I thought they came in hot. We saw ATK showing off Galaxy now. He's going to learn a lot. We've got 2 weeks now where he can kind of mold his thing. We saw Apex with the return of Shadowhunt as well. They've got a few things to work on, but it's pretty decent. And Nixa, maybe a little bit of inconsistencies that they know they want to work on. A guy like Skillsteel, he's hard on himself. They're not going to take those lying down. And so I think we're going to see a lot more, right? We need to go to that Winter Cup. We need to see who's going to practice, who's going to be scrimming, who's just going to be pulling things together. Even SRZ, we didn't expect such an early fallout from them from Group 2 either. So, I mean, I think a lot's going to happen in this next kind of 10 days or so. And we're going to see who comes back hungrier than what we saw this weekend.
That's one of the things that I do admit about this SSA scene, and I love so much about this SSA scene, is that there is so much fire, there's so much passion, there's so much drive for it, and the points are still close enough. For that second place, going to this weekend they were close. It's not going to be as easy to challenge Orlando Pirates, but there's still a lot of teams in there, and there's no doubt that with their skills, there are a lot of teams that could do it. It's not just people who want to or who technically with the points are able to. They have the skills. They are able to challenge out in Orlando Pirates, and that's what I'm very excited to see. This is the first of the winter splits. This is just the beginning of this, and I'm so excited to see how just the next couple of weeks pan out.
We have so much to be happy about with SSA Rocket League, the direction it's going, the depth we're building. And, I'm coming across 13, 14-year-olds who are grinding now, because as soon as they turn 15, they want to get in there. They want to be at RLCS. There's that hunger, that fire in the belly, and it's growing in the community. It is astonishingly positive, the best it has ever been for those of us who love this game. So what a great weekend, and there's so much more to come. 5 more regionals over 1 2/3 of a split to come, and we're going to love every single minute of it. So once again, a shout out to the talent team, the 3 of us here, Ultrazim, Muzz, and then of course Pyro and Triple M doing an astonishingly good job. The ACGL who've done magnificent with this channel and getting these games out there superbly. Reggie, Blank, and then people who don't get probably enough mention, and they should, are the managers, the guys. They do such a flawless job in terms of running this tournament and making sure it all happens. Of course, Noob Slice, the regional manager, and Josh Nobody, who's like always in touch with us, making sure we're coordinated and done. Massive shout out to you. There will be credits at the end. Make sure you read them to see everybody who's involved in making this all happen and bringing it to you. But from us, another regional. I'm elated. I'm sad. I can't wait for 2 weeks' time. But that'll wrap it up for us. Until 2 weeks' time. Peace. We're out.